Welcome to my live stream. Community, thank you so much for your able teacher is here waiting on standby for you. Welcome and say hi to me. Thank you for the first like. Kindly say hi so that I may know who you are, darling. Thank you so much. We shall be discussing matters pertaining traveling, matters regarding airport, matters regarding the airplane, because traveling is my niche. And that is why I love sticking to my niche regarding traveling, tours, anything regarding travel, because even tourism is also traveling, because when you are touring somewhere, you have to travel there. So regarding tourism, that is why you see sometimes I put animals, because there are people who normally fly to other destinations to see animals, to see wildlife. So thank you to my live chat, and may the Lord bless you as you come in. Welcome and say hi as we discuss matters regarding traveling, tours, visa requirements, what you are supposed to do in the airport, in the airplane. Yes, so that you might have a hassle-free flight. Hassle-free flight. Yes, because as I keep saying, we are local and international. We fly locally and we fly internationally. Yes, so we have to know what to do and what not to do. How to conduct ourselves in the airports, in the airplane, the baggage that we are supposed to carry, what we are supposed to have with us when we are traveling internationally, because it is very important to know that. So when you come in, kindly say hi. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, like the video, my dear ones. As your teacher starts spewing wisdom, teaching you on travel rules, visa requirements, yes, mind-blowing travel hacks that are very important, though they may seem useless, but they are very important, by the way. So when you come in, like the video, as we kick on, we kickstart our video tonight. Welcome, my beloved community. Welcome, my beloved supporters. I do not take your love for granted. And as your teacher, I shall keep giving you tips, safety tips in the airport. Yes, because we have to be safe, secure in our journeys. Things happen to people because sometimes they do not know. Because I'm a strong believer of the Bible says that God says in His word, because the Bible is the word of God, that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So when we give knowledge, when we teach, people are not going to perish. People sometimes perish because of lack of knowledge. They are careless simply because they do not know. But when you know what to do, how to stay safe and secure, even in international destinations, it is going to be so free. You are going to enjoy the flight. You are going to enjoy your touristic visit, whether it is a work visit, touristic, family visit, and it is going to be well with you. Yes. Because the Bible says we should be wise as doves. We should be as wise as snakes. Yes, and as harmless as doves. We are not supposed to be harmful to other people. We are supposed to be genuine to one another and to be wise. Wisdom is very important. Yes. So when you come in, like the video kindly, so that I may start my topic officially. I have decided to be doing many live streams so that I can keep growing my community. I can keep educating my community, because I've seen that people don't know things, even frequent flyers, by the way. It is good to train even the frequent flyers whether you are in the US, whether you are in Europe, whether you are in Cambodia, wherever you are, it is good to learn. So welcome and like the video kindly and say hi to me so that I may know who is there, because I love you with the love of Christ. I do not take your support for granted. I do not take your time for granted, that when you come here, it is normal, you normally spend your time here. Maybe some use Wi-Fi, some use bundles. I do not take your love for granted. So when you come in, say hi to me so that I may kickstart my video officially when we are a number. Because I don't want you to miss anything regarding travel. Yes. When people are traveling in the airport, there are some items that you are not supposed to put in the trays. Most of the time in international airports, globally, when you are going through security checks, we normally have scanning machines, we normally have X-ray machines, we normally have aqueous metal detectors. The aqueous metal detectors, or the AMDs, are for scanning human beings. You go through an AMD that detects metal. But in some circumstances, if you have a medical condition, like those people with the pacemakers, you can always inform the security people that you have a pacemaker, because it is not good to go through the aqueous metal detector when you have a pacemaker. Some people normally have a pacemaker, that is a medical condition. And remember, when you tell the security people about it, they can exempt you from going through the AMD, or the aqueous metal detector, where you go through X-ray machine that detects metal. It's normally a scanning machine, not an X-ray. It is a scanning machine that detects whether you have any metal in your body. And as you come in, kindly like the video. If you haven't subscribed, my dear, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification, so that whenever I upload, you are going to be the first one to know. So come in and say hi, like the video, my dear, and I'll be so happy to teach you today. Yes, it is good to be teachable. The disciples of Jesus were teachable. He taught them so many things. And he told them to go therefore to the world, to the ends of the earth. And that is what is happening now. People keep going to preach the gospel internationally, like that. I'm also a good disciple, and that's why I've learned a lot. I love learning, by the way. Even a small baby, I normally listen to what they are saying. Even small babies, because you can learn from anyone. Yes. And it can be very, very time-saving for you in future. It can also be very money-saving. Some of the things that you don't know can be very costly at the end of the day. But when you know those things, they can save you time and money. And they can make you have a good journey. Have an easy time in your international or even local travel. So I shall continue teaching, because I know people will watch later. And it is also good when they come and watch later, because these are very important tips. So I talked about the aqueous metal detector. That one is normally a machine that is normally for scanning passengers in international airports. But if you have a pacemaker, do never go through that machine. Always tell the security people that you have a pacemaker, so that they can exempt you. In that case, they can do a hard search, because in the airport, security is paramount, by the way. And no one is exempt, not unless in very, very special circumstances. So there are people who can't go through the aqueous, but they are normally, the security agents normally conduct a hard search, because everyone must be safe. And by the way, in the airport, when you see security checks, do never feel bad, because sometimes they could be tiring, they could be irritating, but I always say it is better safe than sorry. They save a lot, by the way. Do never be irritated in the airport when you are told to go through security, when you are told to surrender your items for screening. It is better safe than sorry, my dear. So do never be irritated when you are told to go through security, when you are told to remove the items from your pocket to be screened. So there's something I'm going to talk about, because as I told you earlier, if in any international airport in the world, because remember, people travel internationally. You could be traveling to the US, you could be traveling to Middle East, you could be traveling to Europe. When you are screening your items, for example, if you have a mobile phone, you have got small items that you value, maybe your golden watch, anything that you value, watch, mobile phone, maybe you have a ring, maybe you have a chain, necklace, maybe you have got your passport. Never put them in the tray, by the way, because people are normally very careless, thinking that in the airport it is very safe. In any international airport, for the small items, always put them in your bag way before. Put them in your carry-on very well way before. Zip it up so that when you are screening through the security, those items can be safe. As I keep telling you, my dear ones, not all passengers are genuine, by the way. Someone could be traveling, but they could be monitoring you, maybe to see whether you are naive, maybe you are a first-time flyer. And I've ever seen even frequent flyers losing items. Not only the first-time flyers. I have ever seen even frequent flyers losing their items. You remove your belt, you remove everything, you put them in the tray, and remember those trays are normally very many, and because of the long queues, and maybe because you are tired, simply because maybe you are joining from another flight, you can even forget your things on the tray. Or someone, when you are screening, they come pushing and they can pick your personal items from the tray. And because you have got so many things, maybe you are holding, maybe you have got several pieces, you have your neck pillow, maybe you have got your small piece of hard luggage and something else, it is very easy for you to forget what you put in the trays. So, in the trays, my dear ones, do never put your very important items. And the first key item that you should not even try to put in the tray is a passport. A passport, do never try, by the way. Because remember, a passport is a small item. Someone can pick that passport as you are screening when you are queuing, and because maybe you are tired. So when you are screening, please remember to put the passport in your hand luggage inside and zip up. If you have got a watch, maybe a ring, remove them way before and put them in your hand luggage and zip it up. Because remember, not everyone that is traveling is genuine. It's a genuine traveler. Yes, that is very good to note. If you have any question, you can ask as I pose. Yes, as I pose for a question. And by the way, there's something else I wanted you to say. Because I have heard so many things. We normally communicate with many people. We hear so many things. When you travel to a place internationally, maybe you go to visit Kenya, you go to visit Uganda, you go to visit US or wherever. Remember, we have got free airport shuttles in many airports. Like in Kenya, we normally have inter-terminal shuttles that are free of charge. Those inter-terminal shuttles, you normally don't pay anything for them. They are normally normally offered by the airport, so that you can be varied from this terminal to the other. That is very free. Remember that. No one should charge you for that. And if you are using any taxi, because it is possible for you to use a taxi, maybe even after visiting a 5-star hotel or anywhere, 5-star hotels are the most secure, by the way. But the other lower ones, maybe 4, 3 or 2 or something, be very careful with whoever you are associating with. And before you enter into any vehicle from those maybe 3-star hotel or anything, it is always good to register that. You can even take a photo with that driver. You can take a photo together with the driver and let them know that you have told your people that you are going to enter that vehicle and it's going to be your driver to a particular destination. You can even go on YouTube Live, taking your video with that whoever is carrying you, because nowadays people have turned to be other things. You can take a photo with him, ensure that your family knows the telephone number of that person that is carrying you. Even the photo, you can take a photo together and tell him that you are taking a photo, so that you can send it to your family or whoever is concerned with you, so that they can know that you are traveling in that vehicle. You can even take the photo of the vehicle, the number of that vehicle. Do never be careless. Take the photo of the number, take your photo with that driver, and whenever you are traveling, always have the location on in your phone. Turn the location in your phone on, so that You are also, they are not, even if they planned something against you, they are going to be afraid, saying that you are very aware, you have taken a photo, you have even told your relatives about the telephone number of that driver. You can even go on YouTube Live. Whenever you are traveling on people that you do not know, just be very careful. Not everyone who smiles at you is genuine, by the way. Someone could be smiling at you, and that could be the last smile on earth. So please be very careful. You can take a photo with that person, the driver of the cab, of the taxi. Make sure that you have the telephone number of that driver and send it to your relatives. Make sure you can even go to YouTube Live. You can be you can go to YouTube Live together with the driver as you are driving, because you never know. Some things are very important, though they might look simple, simply because of your safety and security. Because when you travel internationally, you do not know that person that you are meeting, especially if it is a stranger. So please be very careful, because you never know. In the airport, even if you are very sleepy, because sometimes in the airport, we normally have seats where people normally rest, maybe because you are coming from a transit point and you are very tired. Ensure that your items are very near you. Sleep, be very aware, by the way, even when you are asleep, and put your personal items in your body, because you never know. Even if there are CCTVs in international airports, you never know, because even if there are CCTVs, if a passenger comes and steals and they are traveling to another destination, even if they are captured on the CCTV, how can you get that passenger? Yes, because I've ever seen such a thing. A passenger took someone's passport, by the way, a case that I know. They took the passport, and then the CCTV displayed that passenger, but unfortunately he boarded a flight. So let us be very aware of that, especially for the naive passengers who are first-time flyers, and especially when you are very tired. If you are very tired and you have got your colleagues that you are traveling together with, ensure that you stay together with them. Going to the washroom, do never leave your bag outside. Do not entrust it to the cleaners that they can take care of your bag when you go to the washroom. Enter with your bag in the washroom. Lock yourself up. When you are done, come out with your bag. Do never trust anyone, not unless you are in the same group. Yes, that is a tip. And I'm going to rest again to help you, to enable you to ask a question, because maybe you are planning to travel tomorrow, maybe next month, maybe next week, and it is good to know these things. And when you come in, kindly like the video and say hi to me, so that I may know who is there. Thank you because of your love and support. I shall keep teaching regarding traveling, airplane, airport, because that is my area of expertise. Christo, hi, how are you? Thank you for checking in on me, my dear. Thank you so much. I came to your live, but I did not stay long because I wanted to do a live also. Yeah, thank you. You are doing so well. Elizabeth, how are you? Thank you so much, dear. Today I have decided to do another one because today I'm not working. Thank you so much, Christo. Thank you. We should be doing live streams are very nice, Christo. For giving us 4,000 watch hours. For me, I'm at 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm at 1,193. So now I'm looking for watch hours, but I was very lazy, by the way, because I normally work. Yeah, thank you so much, Christo. Yeah, thank you so much for coming to my live. Thank you. It's good to support each other, because I keep teaching that supporting each other with watch hours, going and watching their video, liking their videos, being genuine to one another, we shall grow. Because we need to grow, by the way. We are not stagnant. We can't stagnate. Yeah, stagnation is not our portion, Christos. Yeah, stagnation is not our portion. What is wrong with my video? Oh my God, Elisa. It's not clear. Why? Let me try to wipe it kindly. 1 minute. Let me try to wipe it, because I don't understand why it is not clear. This my phone is not so good now. This my camera. Sorry for that. I don't know whether I'm clear now. And I'm enlarging. What do I do? Sorry for that. These phones, sometimes this Android, you can never trust them. So thank you, my dear ones, as you come in, like the video kindly. Why the scratch now? Oh. Why the scratch? Now how can I go? I'm large. Now I don't know how to go back to normal. Oh. Immediately. I'll try and... When you are traveling in an international airport, always be very alert, even if you are very tired. Yes, I know the voice is okay, but now the photo needs to be okay also, Elisa. Thank you so much for the comment. Thank you, my dear. I do not like it when my photo is not clear. So when you are traveling in the airport, kindly, do never trust anyone or think that the passengers who are traveling are all good people. Yes, because I have had an experience of so many things working in the airport for many years to date. Not every passenger, as I told you, Eliza, is a traveling passenger. They could be traveling, but they are in business of taking people's items. It happens, especially passports and precious things, e.g. gold watches. Maybe you have a gold ring, you put them. I was saying before you came, some people normally put their maybe their important items in the trays, because we normally have trays whereby you put your items and then they go through the security screening. People are normally very careless, assuming that the passenger behind you and in front are good people because they are also traveling. It is not like that, by the way. When you remove your items, maybe you have a ring, maybe a chain that is very, maybe golden chain or something. Maybe you have got your passport never put in a tray. Oh, thank you so much, Ting Ting. Thank you so much. I'm gonna visit you. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. From Ting Ting Daimol channel. Thank you so much. I think I connected it to you, Ting Ting. I have connected it to you, by the way. We connected. You can remember. I connected it to you. You can go and confirm, but I'll confirm again. I connected it to you some time back. You came and commented that I came and visited you and did it that's necessary. I connected it, by the way. Thank you so much for your love. Yes, thank you. But I'm gonna come and comment again. But I remember I commented it to your channel, Ting Ting. And I watched some videos and left some comments, because that is what I normally do. Because when you are supporting someone, Ting Ting, it is good to go and watch and then comment. Because there are some people, Ting Ting, who normally just enter into a channel, they write a message, or maybe they comment that I have connected, but they never watch anything. The genuine way to support one another is you go to somebody's channel, you watch along from video, even if for some minutes, and then you can comment. And when they are live, if it's possible, you can be visiting. If you can't, you can always visit later and watch the replay. That is what I normally call a good community. Because Ting Ting, we need to grow, by the way. We needed the 4,000 watch hours. We needed to give genuine content to our audience, by the way. That is my main goal. Giving genuine content, because I am a travel expert, by the way. I can advise you on traveling to anywhere and the do's and the don'ts. Yeah, because some people are normally very naive, especially the first-time flyers. They come to the airport, they can even be scammed. Remember, not everyone who works in the airport is genuine. And I do not mean any airport. Internationally, whether you are in New York, whether you are in Frankfurt in Germany, whether you are in Paris, anywhere you are in the airport, do never trust anyone, either the passengers or even the workers. Because not all workers are genuine. They could be security workers, but not all people are genuine. Because anyway, that is a community. So whenever you are traveling, be very alert. Your personal items that are very important, ensure that you put them in there. Let me put Ting Ting to be a moderator because he is a genuine supporter. So my audience, I love you with the love of Christ for supporting me by watching my videos. I do not take that for granted, by the way. And I normally give support to my community because now I have discovered that there are people who are genuine continuously, but there are some who are not continuous. And we have to be very careful with such people. We have to support those ones who are in there, those ones who support continuously. So I was talking about being safe in the airport, being safe in the airplane also, because remember, most people are normally very tired. By the time you are getting into the airplane, you already are feeling to sleep. You put your things in the seat pocket and you forget them. You don't know your neighbor. And that is why I said in another video, know your neighbor in the airplane. Know who is your neighbor. Know you can even talk to them. It's good to talk to your neighbor, by the way, so that you can even study their face. Yeah, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Yeah, Christos is a good my good supporter. Yes, thank you so much, Christo, Elizabeth, Ting Ting. Thank you so much. And Elizabeth, by the way, you can support Ting Ting later. He's also he's also my supporter. I have gotten so many supporters because I'm also a good supporter to my community. So I was saying, in the airports internationally, not only in Africa, grow with Mimi. Hi. Thank you so much. I'm happy to see that you are back with a bang in YouTube. I'm so happy. And by there, I'm seeing you are going far. You normally have very nice niche. I'm doing well, Glow with Mimi. I'm well. Today, I'm off duty, by the way. Yesterday and today, I'm off duty. So I decided to come and teach my my audience regarding traveling, as I always do, because I have seen many things, by the way. I have seen everyone in the app. There's no one I've never encountered in the airport. I have encountered international presidents from various states. I have seen VIPs. I have seen VVIPs. I know how people behave, how fast-time flyers behave, how frequent flyers behave, how business class passengers behave. And I can give very legit information for people who normally travel locally or internationally, especially internationally. Yes. And that's why I was saying that when you are screening your items, because in international airports, they normally give trays. Yeah. Elizabeth, go to Christo and comment that you are from Grace Travels and Visa. Do never forget that comment. Grace Travels and Visa requirements. Yeah. Thank you so much for supporting those who support me. Yes. Even the Bible says, God says, I shall bless those who bless you. So, if you are blessed of the Lord, whoever blesses you, God blesses. Like Israel are the children of God. Whoever blesses Israel is blessed of God. And whoever blesses the blessed of the Lord is blessed. So whoever helps those who help me, thank you so much. I know you connected with Grow with Mimi. Yes, because Grow with Mimi also have a channel. Keep connecting and loving each other. Yes, be authentic to one another, love one another. Do not look down on people for any reason, because you never know tomorrow they shall be where. Tomorrow, Grow with Mimi could be having 1 million subscribers. You never know with God, by the way. Yes, always pray for your channel, my dear ones. Tomorrow you never know where you shall be. And that is why I never ignore even someone with 200 views, 200 subscribers. Because I started with 1, I went to 2 subscribers, 3, 4, 5, I reached 500. Now I'm at 1,001 something. I think 190 something. Yeah, thank you so much, Grow with Mimi. Life is to help each other, by the way. You know, there are some people I normally see, mostly maybe the big YouTubers. They sometimes, I don't want to talk about it, but sometimes there is a way you see, I don't want to talk. So let us support each other. Those who have got 90 subscribers are people, they are genuine. Let's support them. Those who have got 20 subscribers, because one day, even the big subscribers had 10 subscribers, but they kept growing. And when you go up the ladder, do never forget that you came from down the ladder. Yes, because you never know. That person you are looking down upon could be very up tomorrow. What I normally encourage you when you are doing your niche, do something authentic. Never indulge yourself in bad things, because now there are some things that you cannot watch, by the way. So when we are doing our niches, let's choose something that everyone can watch. A grandmother, grandfather, a father, mother, children, anyone. Though it is not made for kids, but young people, maybe above 18, mothers, fathers. Let us also be choosing nice niches so that we cannot have a problem with YouTube. So that we cannot have a problem with the community guidelines. Yes, let us be wise. God wants wise people. Yes, we have to be wise like snakes. So, please, when you are traveling internationally, as I said before, passport should be always in your body. Never leave your passport. There are many instances. There is an instance I have said before. Someone, imagine, by the way, that one was a very funny case. Many years back, in a particular flight that I checked, I'm the one who did that work. I checked a passenger. The passenger was holding a green card for the US, and he had a Kenyan passport. And after that, I gave back the passenger the documents, because that is how it should be. After you are done with checking the documents, whether they are genuine, whether they are the owners of those documents, you are supposed to hand them back. But imagine when the passenger was screening that document, another passenger picked it from the tray. Many years ago, by the way, not even 10, more than 10 years ago. Another passenger picked it in their tray, but we did not know. So the passenger came complaining to me that I gave you my passport, and I told the passenger, I gave you back your passport and the green card. So we had to go to the CCTV, because remember the CCTV is normally 24 hours. Because it was very confusing, and it was a night flight. I will not mention the flight, neither the real passenger. So when we went to the CCTV, I was seen giving the passenger back the documents, and then the passenger, when he was screening the items, because we normally have got trays that you put your items so that you can put them through the X-ray machines. I know those people who have ever traveled, even sometimes in cities, we normally have screening machines. In tall buildings, we normally have screening machines where you put your items and then they go through the screening machine. So the CCTV showed that I gave back the passenger the documents, and then another passenger that was behind him, no, in front, by the way. The passenger went in front because he had already put his items in the tray and went to pick the items on the other side. So when this other passenger put the passport and the green card, the other passenger took the passport. Just imagine. And now, unfortunately, when we were discovering that, because it was already late, because remember, going to the CCTV, before we even start monitoring the CCTV, the flight had departed. So the passenger went with another passenger's document. So this other one did not fly, because you cannot now fly. With the passport, my dear, let it stay in your body. And be very alert. Even if you are sleepy, have someone that you trust. Maybe someone in your company. Maybe you are traveling with a colleague. Maybe a family member, to take care of you, to help you to be safe together, by the way. Going to the washroom, never leave your bag to anyone to look for your bag. When you go to the washroom, because they are clean, in any international airport, yes, enter with your bag in the washroom. After you are done with whatever you are doing, my dear, come out of the washroom safely. Be always very safe. If you are taking an airport taxi, they are very safe. But because it is not a must you take an airport anywhere in the world. This one I'm not talking about Africa. I am talking about airports. Because I've ever gone to a European airport. I'm talking about airports. When you are boarding a taxi, because that person, you do not know them, ensure that you take a photo with that person. Take the car number, a photo of the car number for your safety and security. Remember what I do in the airport, even if it pertains travel documents, I also did security before this. I was a security agent in the airport before now becoming a travel document checks expert and becoming a trainer in the same field. So, because of seeing so many things, because of handling different passengers and different cases and issues, it is always good to be very careful. Even not in international airports. Whenever you are boarding a taxi of a stranger, first of all, take the photo of the number plate. Wherever you are. But not because I work in the airport, I shall talk about the airport. But this can apply even when you are boarding a bus, when you are boarding a taxi in your village or even in town. Take the photo of the number plate and let the person know that you have taken the photo. You can even take a video with him and tell him that you want to show your relatives that this is your driver. Take the photo. You can take the photo together. You can even go on YouTube live. So that when you are in the journey, you are live in YouTube. Because you never know what happened. I know some of us have heard what happened the other day. I do not want to talk about it. It's a recent case. Yes. Pertaining to a passenger. Or a very unfortunate case. So what I can advise. And by the way, even when you come to the airport, be very alert. Remember, in any airport, those who work there are not always saints. Does not mean that because they work for security or because they work in any department, they are all authentic. So be very careful. If you think that you are being scammed or being frauded, you can always look for information desk. We normally have information desk in the airport. Be very alert. Because, by the way, in the airport, you are not supposed to pay for anything else as long as you have your ticket. Not unless you have got excess baggage. And even when you have excess baggage, the payment must be made by credit card to the airline, not to an individual. So these are some of the tips because I have had people crying that they have been scammed. If you say that you have been scammed or being frauded, always look for customer service or security, senior security people of the airport, in any airport in the world. Whether you are in Frankfurt, Germany, whether you are in Munich, whether you are in Paris, whether you are in Charles de Gaulle International Airport in Paris, anywhere you are in Atatürk International Airport in Turkey, if you sense that there is anything, always raise alarm. Never keep quiet. Because as I tell you all the time, not all workers are genuine, neither are all passengers genuine. Please keep your passport very safe. I have, in my time of career, arrested many passengers with other people's passports. Simply because someone lives in the US, you are given a US passport that is not yours so that you can try your luck. Do never try that. And even for those people who give out their passports to other people, please, my dear ones, do never try that. Do not give your passport to your relative because you think you look alike. You are going to lose that passport. Because remember, if that passport is intercepted, it is going to be given back to the embassy concerned. You'll never get that passport. And the worst case scenario, you can be banned from traveling. Because now maybe you live in the US and you are giving your passport to your relative so that they can try their luck. Maybe you send that passport with a DHL to the country that you want that passport to go and be misused. Never misuse your travel document. Your travel document is yours. It is not transferable because it has your photo. It has your biometrics. It is not transferable. So do never be duped by anyone to do that. It can cost you to be banned to travel, and it costs you as the one that have given the passport. Because remember, when it is arrested, they are going to track you because they have got your details. Because remember, your passport nowadays they are biometric. Your passport is biometric, and even if it is not biometric, it has the nationality. For example, if it is a US passport, it will bear my name. But anyway, US passports are all biometric. So it will bear my name, it will bear my biometric details, my fingerprints, my everything. So I can be very well tracked by in the system because of what we call technology. So do never give up your passport for any chance. If you love someone very much, always invite them. They can go and get a visa and come and visit you. Please invite. That one is the only way you can help, but don't give them your passport. If you live in Sweden, do not give your passport to a relative to travel with that passport. Do not, because I have arrested so many things like that. Never do that. It can cost you to be banned to travel and the passport being confiscated. And by the way, in some instances, because I have gone through many trainings with those embassies, if you abuse your passport and they discover that maybe, because sometimes people normally abuse, you give it out to your relative or to your friend or to anyone, and then you go and report that the passport was stolen. If they discover that you are using deception, what they can do is banning you from getting another passport. So, for example, if you live in Norway and you gave out your passport to someone, or maybe you live in Sweden or Finland, what the Norwegian government can do, or any other government, they can do this, because remember, traveling or even a passport is not a human right, by the way. A passport is not a human right. And you can bear me witness that not everyone travels. Maybe even you have never traveled. So they can tell you, now you can only stay in Norway, you can never get out of Norway, because we shall never issue with a passport. That is a worst case scenario. It happens. You misuse a passport, you give to a wrong person, and then it is intercepted. The worst case scenario is you can be banned from getting another passport. Some governments do that. And I'm saying this out of experience and out of deep training and deep research. So your passport is yours. If you love me so much, you love your friend so much, give them an invite. If they cannot afford to pay for the ticket, pay for them so they can come and visit you to that country. Yes. So that one is good to note. And I say, take a breath, you can ask a question. So in the airport, we normally have inter-terminal charters that are free in most airports internationally. Most airports offer free inter-terminal charters that are free, so that they can make your work easier of going from this terminal to the other terminal, because some terminals are way apart. And so that because they want you to have an easy time connecting from this terminal to the other, they normally offer inter-terminal shuttles. That is good to note. But for the taxi, as I advised later, it is very safe to use an airport tax from the airport. But individual people's taxis, please take extra measures. Take extra security measures and never trust anyone. Yes, never trust anyone as long as you do not know those people. Never trust anyone. And because they have a taxi in the airport and they are not the airport taxis, they are personal taxis, you trust them. If you are going to search taxis, always take always ensure that you take the number plate of that and let them know that you have taken, so that they can be afraid of doing anything sinister to you. Ensure that they know that you have taken the number plate. Take a photo when they are watching. You can even take a video of the number plate and you take a photo of those people, the taxi driver, and tell them that you have sent to your relatives. And send them to your relative that I have entered in this cab. I am going to such a place, and put the location in your phone on. That's what I was saying. You can even enter YouTube Live, so that you can know that already. Everyone knows that you're in that taxi. You are heading from maybe one destination to another, to be safe and to be very secure. Because remember, safety is first. We can never take any chances with safety. That one you have to note. And in the airport, do never carry unnecessary items. Anything unnecessary will only add you excess luggage. Anything unnecessary, do not carry. Be traveling light. It will be very easy for you. Travel light. Yes, because some people carry too much luggage. Too much. send them so many things. Please do not carry too much unnecessary items because they are not useful. Yes. Don't carry unnecessary items. Any question, kindly? When you come in, kindly like the video, my dear ones, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you are traveling to a code destination, do never forget to carry your code clothing. I normally see people traveling sometimes to Russia. In Russia, sometimes it's very cold, or even going to Europe or US or Canada without cold clothing. And I normally wonder, do never depend on people's, do never travel to a destination that is during winter, expecting to get help from those people. It is good also to have your own cold clothing because you never know. Yes. You can remember the woman who died of cold in Canada, which was very sad. She died of cold because she went to Canada when there was a crisis. There were too many people in Toronto and something bad happened. So sorry for her, by the way. Because it's good to carry cold clothing. In anywhere that you are going during winter, please do not forget the cold clothing. That is very important. The trolleys in the airport, because you normally have trolleys, they are free. Do never be charged for a trolley. You know the trolley that you put your items to pull to, and then you push the trolleys. Do never be charged because those are normally free. They are normally very free things. There are normally some free things in the airport. By the way, the trolleys, the interterminal shuttles, those are normally free indeed. And because people normally travel anywhere in the world, and you do never know about the people of that country, whether they have integrity or not, be very aware because anything can happen. I had heard people saying that they were charged to put their items in those trolleys. The trolleys are normally free of charge. Yes. If you sense anything sinister, raise alarm. And when you raise alarm, you're gonna get help. Yes. Do never pay for trolleys. Never pay for interterminal shuttles. Those are free indeed. Any query? When you come to the check-in, when you are traveling internationally, it is good to book your seat maybe 48 hours before. Always book your seat online before. But if you did not make it, because sometimes the websites are normally very congested, you can try to make your booking online, and maybe the website is congested for that particular flight, anywhere you are in the world. Remember, we normally have got self check-in kiosks in the airport. So instead of going to make a long queue and waiting to get a seat, because remember, the later you get to the seat, you cannot be able to choose the best seat. So the earlier you check in, because already you have your ticket, so you can check in at any time. You can check in even 48 hours before, by the way. You can check in earlier. So in the check-in, if they are, because most airports normally have self-check-in kiosks, you can check yourself in the airport. If you're not able to do such a process, you can ask someone to help you to do your self-check-in. Remember, when you do your self-check-in early enough, you can choose the best seat, because not all seats are the same. You can choose the best seat. So there are self-check-in kiosks where you can check yourself in, and then you go and just drop your luggage. Because already now you have your boarding pass. Now you can only go and drop your luggage, which is very easy. So that one is good to note. Yeah, self-check-in. For the ticket, I told you buying the ticket earlier is very important. Buying a ticket earlier is very, very important. And by the way, when you are searching for a ticket, because you know when you start searching something, you are already monitored that someone is trying to buy a ticket in this site. What I can advise, when you are trying to buy a ticket, so that you can get a better deal online, if you are buying online, you can always turn incognito, so that they cannot even know who is this person and where they are searching from. Because remember, when you are searching from some destinations, tickets can be more expensive. But the problem with online tickets is that if there is any problem, you cannot be able to change that ticket easily. If you buy a ticket online, because remember, anything cheap can be very expensive later. When you buy a ticket online, maybe it can be very cheap. But if there is any hitch or any transit problem, maybe, remember, it normally gets very complicated, because now you have to go online and do the whatever, but it can take a long time for them to change for you the ticket. So the airline tickets are very, very friendly, though they are maybe they are more expensive, but not all the time. So if you are flying with a flight to for example, Turkey, buying with that airline, for example, if you are going to Turkey, buying with Turkish Airlines is cheaper than buying online. Yes, but all the same, the ticket prices depend on when you buy the tickets. So those are some of the things to consider when you are buying the ticket: time when you are buying them, and then the site that you are buying them from. And when you go to the sites, there are normally so many options. Because remember, we normally have got many flights departing to a particular destination. Like now, we could be having maybe 3 different flights that go to Dubai. Different. They are different completely, but their prices are different. So what you can do is go and check their baggage policy, the prices of the ticket way before, so that you can have the best what? You can have the best rates, by the way. Buying the ticket way before is very, 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 it can be money saving. And remember, we normally have saving money. We cannot waste our hard-earned money, as I keep saying. Hard-earned money you cannot waste. And that's why I'm giving you travel tips, so that you can save time. And time is money, remember. Remember, delays in the airport can cause you to be offloaded. Yes. Another thing I can talk about, there are some people who normally get violent in the airport. You come to the airport simply because maybe there is something. Maybe you are told to screen your items, or maybe there is something. For example, there are some people who miss their flights because the incoming flight came late. So the connection flight can depart without you. If you are left by a flight, my dear, do not come insulting people. Remember, sometimes it can have dire consequences. Not all the time you can go scot-free. Yes. I have seen people doing that. Maybe you come because you came in late with another flight, and you found that your next flight that you are connecting to have departed. For your own peace and for the peace of others, do not start calling people F words. Do not start insulting people, by the way, because it can have dire consequences. Please never do that. I know it is very frustrating sometimes. Maybe you have children. You came from a flight connecting to another one, and when you arrive, because the other flight came late, you are left by the flight. Remember, that is not your problem. They are going to give you a hotel if possible, or where necessary, and they are going to give you the next available flight. So do never insult. Do never call people F words, by the way. Especially in Africa, we don't know those F words. And even anywhere, don't call people F words. Anyway, even in the US, don't call people, because it can have very, very bad consequences. Yes. Sometimes people are even normally arrested by the police. It becomes very complicated. So I normally wonder, maybe you came for a holiday and you are very happy. Maybe you went for a holiday in Uganda. Maybe you went for a holiday in where? Where else can you go for holiday? You could be going for a holiday in Congo. Maybe you went for a holiday in Germany. But now because during departure time, something happens, a hiccup happens. Maybe you miss your flight. And now you become very furious and start insulting everyone. You start insulting everyone, and it gets complicated on your side. How will you enjoy if at all you traveled maybe to a destination for tourism, and now you have come and caused a lot of chaos? And remember, when you are causing chaos, when you are insulting people, you also feel very bad. Because remember, those things are not good, by the way. Yes, I prefer you keep cool. I have seen many times when people miss their flights. They know some behave very well, by the way. You can see maybe a wife behaving well, the husband is throwing everything away. Sometimes you could see the wife misbehaving and the husband is calm. Kindly always keep calm. It is not a matter of life and death. Because remember, you have to be sorted. If the other flight brought you late to the airport, they are going to sort you out and give you the next available flight because it was not your fault. So do never insult people. That is a very bad notion. Do never insult anyone because you are going to be sorted. How can you have a nice journey after insulting people? How can you even have that joy in your heart? I don't think it is nice because I have seen it. And you see, sometimes when people are traveling in a group, one of them could be very stubborn, the others are understanding. What I can advise, because remember, everything that we do on this earth is spiritual. Traveling is spiritual. Everything that we do, by the way. So, for your own peace, by the way, do not insult. Just keep calm and ask for the next step. Remember, the airport workers will help, not the airport, but the airline workers. The airline workers will gonna help you and give you the next direction. They can tell you they are going to take you to a hotel. They are going to take you to the other available flight because there are always options. So do never panic. Do not insult. Do not come screaming. Do not lose your temper. Always remain neutral, by the way. Remain very cool and wait for to be assisted. Because remember, you have to be assisted. The airline workers are employed for you, to assist you, to ensure that you have your flight, to ensure that you travel safe back to your country. And I told you the airport is the safest place to be. Because remember, even in case of anything, you can escalate to the airport managers. There is always a way out. So do never lose your temper. Yes, don't throw things away. Do not lose your cool, by the way. Because I've seen it, and people normally, it is normally a very bad picture. You see maybe a woman insulting everyone, or a man, or anything. It is normally a very bad picture. I've even never seen people being arrested, by the way, by the police. When you go, if you get very violent, maybe you beat someone, you slap someone, because there are some people who go to the extent of slapping others, that one can be taken very seriously. You can even be jailed in that country, by the way. Do never lose your temper, though it can be very frustrating to miss your flight, because maybe children, check the connection time. If it is a very short connection, always choose another one, because we normally have options. Before you travel, you make a trip, plan way before. Check whether you are coming from Zanzibar, maybe coming to Nairobi. What is the transit time of that flight? What is the connection time? On that, to avoid many things. But even if you miss your connection, do not worry. So do never lose your cool. It will affect you and it will affect others. Yes. Always, we normally say in Kenya, hakuna matata. So do not have matata. Even if you are delayed and you are safe. Even if you are delayed but you are safe, do not mind. What comes first is safety and your security. That is the key thing. The other things about going home, about whatever, do not mind. Because you are already in the airport, it is a safe place, and you are going to be sorted by the airline that brought you late. And there's something else I can teach because I have seen things. Yes, when you are using your credit card in any international airport, do not be blind. Be very careful. You know you are dealing with the people. Yes, I have had stories that were very shocking. I will not give the full detail because it is not good or it is not important. But ensure that when your credit card is used in any shop internationally, anywhere, whether it is in US, whether it is in Europe, whether it is in Turkey, whether it is in anywhere in this world, ensure that you see the balance. Do never be careless, assuming that everyone in the airport is genuine. When they swipe the card like this, ensure that whatever you have bought, you know the amount, and you check your balance. Yes, because I have had with this year so many things, and I was very shocked regarding credit cards. Yes, be very careful, by the way. Yes. Even if you are using the credit card to buy in the duty-free shops, always be very careful. And check the prices in the duty-free shops. Don't assume that because they are written duty-free shop, they are very cheap. Be very careful before you do any impulse buying, because you never know. But with your credit card, my dear, or your debit card or whatever, ensure that you know what have been swapped. So check the balance and the receipt. And do never leave a duty-free shop anywhere in this world without a receipt. Yes, I have heard so many stories that are genuine stories. Yes, I know so many things. It's only that sometimes you can't be specific. But if you buy anything from a duty-free shop anywhere in this world, ensure that you get a receipt. Because what I normally tell is that authenticity is my second name. Authenticity. Not everyone is authentic, by the way. So before you buy anything, after you buy anything, what did I say? When you buy anything from the duty-free, whether it is a bottle of water or anything, ensure that you get a receipt. Yes. Ensure that you get a receipt of that bottle of water. If it is maybe a bottle of juice or anything, ensure that you get a receipt and check the amount in the receipt. Your hard-earned money cannot be eaten anyhow. By the be always very keen. Yes, because remember, we have got dash everywhere. So I'm not gonna say what it is. Be very careful. That can happen, and something sinister can happen because some people are normally very busy. They are tired. They just buy and then the card is just swapped and then they go. Later, when you reach your destination, you find that something sinister happened. Before you leave that shop, wherever you are, whether you are in Israel, whether you are in Israel, Tel Aviv, whether you are in Turkey Atatürk International Airport, whether in your Doha, Qatar, whether in your Dubai or Abu Dhabi or wherever, whether in your Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, whenever you buy anything from the duty-free shop, ensure that you know that that amount is what has been removed from your credit card. And before you buy anything from the duty-free shop, ensure that you are aware of that price. Yes, does not always mean, but because it's written duty-free, it is always free. So be very, have that information, my dear ones, because people normally get into many troubles simply because they don't care, or they assume, never assume that the airport, we have got only the saints. Not only saints. There are people who are very genuine, by the way, internationally, and there are people who are not. That happens even in church. There are people in church who are not genuine and others are genuine. Servants of God, some are very genuine, some are not. The same way everywhere you go, even in hospitals. Wherever you go, be very alert and pray to your God for protection from fraudsters or from anyone that could be, not from anyone that could be having a sinister motive. Yes. So like the video as you come in, my dear. If you have not subscribed, kindly consider clicking the button and turning on the notification. And for any travel tip, you can always ask. You can always ask even in my other videos, because I've been teaching even regarding visa requirements. Like now for the UK, we have got the new rules for the UK. I'm going to come and make a very long video regarding the UK, because since they started the new rules of the e-visas, we have been having hiccups. Not everyone is conversant with doing that online. And I'm urging all of you who live in the UK, those who have got BRP that are expired, because now all the biometric residence permits are expired, start practicing how to do it online. You can tell your friend or your family or your whatever to show you how to do it online. You can write the procedure in a book. You can have your book, hard book, a small book, write the procedure of doing the e-visa online. Because now we are in the video period, by the way. We are in the video period, but now in this March, everyone must be producing the online visa, the electronic visa for the UK. That is very good to note, because I have been seeing people being stranded. But because we were in the video period, we were allowing them to give us the expired residence permit and show us the screenshot. But remember, from now, you are not going to be using the screenshots. You are going to go to the UK site, prove the status in the UK site, gov.uk, gov.uk. That is the government for the UK official website. You put your details and then you produce a share code. So start preparing for that, because very soon you have to prove it alive, not a screenshot, not an email. Remember, it should not be a screenshot, neither an email. It is not going to be allowed. And remember, you can come to the airport and have internet issues. So please be prepared, by the way. Come to the airport early, by the way, so that in case of anything, it can be sorted early enough for your own sake, by the way. So do not forget that. Come early in the airport. In case of anything, you can get assisted. But remember, being assisted is not your right. It's only that sometimes the airline workers can go an extra mile just to assist you because you are their customer. But it's not your right. You have to know how to do it on yourself. Even for the non-visa nationals, e.g. the US passport holders now, going to the UK, you are going to give the electronic travel authorization, because those are two different things. The e-visa and the ETA are different. The e-visa is for those people who have got a residence permit for the UK. Those are the ones that are going to produce the electronic visa or the e-visa. But for the electronic travel authorization, that is not a visa. It is just an authorization to show that this American national or this Belgium national is going to the UK for a visit, but they don't need a visa. But because the UK have decided to change their rules and to ensure that they want to know who is going to their country, that is why they imposed the ETA for the non-visa nationals. And I told you about the non-visa nationals in the UK. Those people with strong passports. Yes, from the first world countries, e.g. US, Canada, Japan, and other countries like that. So prepare for that too, because I have been seeing a lot of hiccups, and we were overlooking because we have a window period until end of March. I think it has started, by the way. So from now, be very ready when you come to the check-in to produce the live e-visa. Live, you put your details live when you are standing there, and then you produce a share code, which shows your validity of the residence permit. It shows your photograph. That is only how you can board a flight to the UK. Otherwise, you can be offloaded. Yes. Best ever there. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for checking in. Thank you and welcome to my live show. I'm so fine. How are you? Thank you so much, best ever. Thank you for always showing me support. May the Lord bless you forever and ever and never. And may your YouTube channel expand and expand. We shall keep. Are you going to do live today by the? So that's ever thing, because remember, God is supreme. Whether you are a YouTuber, you are a businessman, God is supreme. Or tomorrow, what time? What time? But I have your notification. What time? But it's okay. I'll come. I'll connect anyway. Don't worry. I'll connect. Thank you so much for your support. I was talking about travel because that is my niche, and I am. But what I was saying, Always put God first, even in your channel. Before even you start say a prayer, people normally assume ignore God, and they remember Him when they are very sick. There are people who only remember God when they are sick, when they are in the deathbed, not when they are sick, when they are very, very sick. It is good to remember God when you are healthy, to worship Him when you are healthy. Because in my niche, I mix up God and I mix up traveling. Because even working in the airport for those years, it has been God. God is protecting me from evil things for those years. Best ever. I never take it for granted. It is not it's not luck. It is the blessing of the Lord. And the blessing of the Lord maketh rich, and it addeth no sorrow. So whenever I'm teaching, God is great. I normally tell Him that He is supreme in my life, supreme and sovereign in my work, supreme and sovereign in my YouTube channel, because He's the one who gave me the wisdom on how to start the channel. Because best ever, I was a travel expert working in the airport for many years. First of all, I became a security agent in the airport. Later, I became a document checker, travel documents, visas, whatever, authentic documents, and then became a trainer and all that for many years. So He gave me that thought simply because people were consulting me from west and east. So I normally put God first in everything. Even when before you take anything, you eat anything, let God get the thanksgiving. Yes. Always remember that God is sovereign. And that is why you'll never see me best ever using bad language in anyone's channel. There are people who go to people's channel and they do bad by you can never do that by. I fear God so much. So thank you so much, our best ever. So the rules are changing every day, by the way. The travel rules keep changing. So yeah, amen, hallelujah, best ever. May the Lord bless you. The rules keep changing, and that is why I normally say keep updating yourself. Keep updating yourself on what is happening in the world. Remember, the UK before was in the European Union, EU. Many years it was in the EU. But in 2020, they exited. And we call that exit Brexit. After that, they have stayed for a long time to 2024. And then they decided they can also impose some rules in their country. Because as I keep teaching, this video best ever is random. This one is not particular. It is random regarding traveling. Sometimes I do specific videos, but this one is random. I can talk about anything regarding traveling, regarding international airport, regarding airplane, because it is good for people to know these things. So when the UK sat down, they came out of the EU. After that, they sat down and decided, when we go to the US, you remember when the UK past nationals go to the UK, they need to the US, they need a visa. British nationals, even the European nationals, like the Germans and whatever, they need a visa. But when the US nationals were coming to the UK, they never needed a visa. So now things have changed. A US national now, or even Canadian, or even a German or a Polish or whatever, going to the UK, they'll need an ETA, electronic travel authorization. Because, and remember, it is going to be charged. They shall be making some revenue from that. I saw it was 10 euros, though it might change in the future. For now, it is 10 euros. 10 euros is not a lot. 10 euros is not even... How much is 10 euros? It is 10 euros, by the way. So you pay for the euros, and then you apply online. Because they want to monitor their security system also. They want to know best ever is coming to our country. Who is this best ever? Who is this Grace Travels who want to travel to the UK? But now the changes are only for the non-visa nationals. Passengers who never needed a visa to go to the UK. Because US nationals never needed a visa. Canadian never needed. The European territories nationals, e.g. Romania, Bulgaria, e.g. Germany, Austria, all those territories never needed a visa. But for the visa nationals, the rules have not changed. You must have your visa in the passport. For the visa nationals, you cannot use an ETA, neither can you use an e-visa. So that one is very good to note. And whenever you live in this world, always be updating yourself. Nowadays, many things are online. If you need to know about the UK, you can go online and check in their website, because the government websites have got legit and very authentic information. You can go to their website and know the requirements in that country, what you can carry and what you cannot, because that is very powerful. Even when you listen to YouTubers, also do your due diligence. Because when you do your due diligence, you shall never be deceived. Yes. Remember, some people out there to mislead, and some are there to lead you the right way. So when you listen to even this video, just later go to the website and do your due diligence. It is very important, because we have to be wise. We have to be wise. That is what God says. We should be wise as snakes. So if you have any query, you can ask. Yeah, we have to be wise, best ever. Best ever saver, we have to be wise. We can never just keep quiet and just do anything. Like for me, best ever, I decided not to be doing, I've never done live, what is it called, live stream. Never have I done also the silent live. You know, there are people who normally do the silent, whereby you just put the video on, because I normally like interacting real time with my audience. I love interacting with them real time, because whatever I teach is what I do. I have no doubt. So I do not fear to come live and engage one-on-one. Yes. And I have given you a blue jacket, best ever, because you are genuine to me. Well, I put you as a managing moderator. I love doing a real-time video so that I can interact. But also I normally do some videos, not necessarily live, but they are also very, very educated, because that is what I have been doing for many years. I have checked passengers to all destinations. I've met with all personalities, everyone from China, from anywhere. So I love doing that one-on-one, so that someone can ask a question. And by the way, there are people who have gotten help. People traveling maybe to Dubai, maybe someone wants to go to do tourism. They have gotten help. So like the video as you come in, as we continue with our nice topic regarding traveling, because I know there are people who want to travel tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe others next year. And traveling is fun. Traveling is fun. As long as you have the information, it is fun. It is fun, it is beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much, best ever. I have put you as a moderator because now you have become my frequent visitor. And I do not take that for granted. I shall also be supporting you kindly, very, very much. When I'm not busy, when I'm not working, as long as you do the life, when I'm, like tomorrow I'll be working in the evening. Although I know we are not in the same time zone. Because like here now it is at I don't know what time is it. It is here. They don't want to quit. But I know we have time difference. But all the same, what I can be doing if I don't come in the live because maybe I'm working, I shall always do the replay. Yeah, keep visiting best ever. Keep visiting. You are most welcome. And I will also show you love in your channel all the time. I shall be watching the replay, the live, as long as I'm available. Today I'm available. Tomorrow I'll be available sometimes, but even after finishing work, I can also come for the live. Yeah, thank you so much. So for the many years I've been in the airport, I have seen very many things. Formerly even me, because I did not know. You know, sometimes there are some things that happen, but they happen in secret. Formerly, before I knew about the deeper things of the airport, not necessarily in Africa, everywhere, because I also traveled to Europe. Anywhere you go, but I thought that I thought that everyone who works in the airport is genuine. That is what I normally used to think. But later I discovered, and that is the truth and the reality, In every community, we have got all types of people. In church, you have got all types of people. Not everyone that goes to church on Sunday or Saturday is going there to worship God. Same case. Not everyone that is employed in any airport in wherever in the world that goes there to work. There are some people who go there to work, but they also have got other activities. And because of that, I learned that you have to be very careful. Even if you are being checked and screened, remember you have also to take care of your items. Yes, because people have cried blood. People cry and cry because of what? Losing their travel documents. Just imagine, best ever, you travel to a country, for example, for tourism. On arrival, you find that you don't have a passport. How can you feel? You are arriving in a country, maybe you are coming from your destination, arriving in a country, any country in the world. Maybe you arrive in Frankfurt, or you arrive in Tel Aviv, Israel, and you discover you don't have a passport. How can you feel? I have seen that. People traveling all the way from their countries to come and see animals, to go and see whatever, to visit their relatives, and then they find they have no passports. That one I'll keep singing and singing because it makes me feel so bad. Imagine. So please, whatever the case, remember in the airplane also where you are seated, not everyone who is there is a genuine person. It can be so bad and scary. I've seen it many times. Because people normally think, when you are screening, you remember in the airport, best ever, you normally have got screening points. Any airport. So you remove your items, you put them in a tray, the small items. The big bag, you can screen without putting in the tray. But now the small items like the watch, maybe you have rings, earrings, maybe you have a bangle or anything, you put them in the smaller bag. You in the small tray, by the way, so that they can go through the screening, the screening point, the screening machine. Now, because you are very tired, or you are assuming that whoever is behind you and in front of you are genuine, you just screen, not being mindful of those items. And you never know who is in front of you. The security could be genuine in the airport. The security just could be genuine. But whoever you are with could be another thing. So, I always keep singing, for the passport, please, for your gold watch, for your rings, for your earrings, for your money, please, put them in the bag, way before you screen, in your hand luggage. Put them inside, zip it up, so that you can screen that where it is in the bag. And keep looking, even if you are very tired, keep looking. When the bag is going through security, because now you study this way, you put in the screen, and then you wait for it to go through, and then you go to the other side, because you also need to be scanned. For the human beings, mostly in the airport, they are scanned with a metal detector. But for the items, the bag, the clothing, you put them in a X-ray machine. So go there, the other side very fast, and be very watchful. Yeah, by the way, you never know what someone is thinking. Imagine you put your US passport, you put your Jamaican passport, your Kenyan passport, your whichever passport, and then you become careless. Remember, it can disappear anytime. Yes, your watch, your rings, some of them are very small. Maybe you have got a very, very important ring. Maybe it is your wedding ring, or maybe engagement ring, or maybe it have got some sentimental value. Maybe you are given by your grandmother who passed away. She gave it to you like just for like a souvenir, and you value that ring. But because you are very tired and you don't know what is happening around, you remove your ring and put in the tray. Remember the trays that are put, the X-ray machine normally have got lid curtains, lid, and you know lid is very heavy. So when the tray is going through the lid curtains, it can overturn. That ring can fall on the floor, and finding that ring can be a nightmare. Sometimes you can never find it. It can either overturn accidentally, or you never know what the other person is thinking about that ring. So for such things, after you enter in the airport, remove the ring, please, for some few minutes, put them in the bag, screen when they are in the bag. The earrings, your anything, the bangles, your watch, your passport, your cash, your money bag, put them in the bag, in your hand luggage, and screen them together. When you enter the airplane, you can put them on, or you can even go to your final destination with those things in the bag. And even in the airplane, please, Because I do not understand, because, by the way, for the many years I've been in the airport, we have ever found the passports in the seats. Sometimes passengers are lucky. The passports are found by people who have no evil motive. So you find a passport in the seat pocket, and the passengers have already disembarked. The passengers have already come out of the airport, of the airplane, and they have left the passport or maybe their cash or anything in the seat pocket because they were very tired. Because some of them normally come when they are sleeping. So when they arrive in the destination, they are overexcited. And remember, you can go very far before you realize you don't have the passport. So imagine after realizing, now you are running back to the airplane, you can miss your connection flight. And the passport can also get lost. So the passport, whether you are in the airplane, whether you are walking in the airport, let it be inside your hand luggage, very well zipped. And the bag should be in your body. Hang it within you. Don't leave it anyhow. Going to the washroom, enter with your bags. Never leave your bags, by the way. Yes. Always be very careful. Important items that are not necessary, don't carry them to international destinations. Important items. Because why I'm saying this, you can even put some items in the checked bag, the big bag that normally goes to the cargo, and because you do not know about that airport, you do not know about that international airport, you never know what can happen even to that big bag, because you can never know about the security of that airport. Yes. So very, very important items that are not necessary, do not carry them internationally, my dear. Kindly be safe. Let your items be safe. Otherwise, you can cry your head off. If you don't need anything, my dear, do not carry them to an international destination. But your laptop, you can carry it in the hard luggage. Do not check in your laptop. There are some people who normally go to do research in countries. They do research, maybe scientific research, maybe medical research, and then they put their laptops in the checked baggage. And you know, the checked baggage, for the people that don't know, is the big bag that goes to cargo. It does not go with you in the airplane. So you put that laptop, and because you do not know about that airport, wherever you are, wherever it could be, whether that airport is in Ouagadougou, whether it is in Congo, whether it is in South Africa, you can never know how safe South African airport is. You can never know how those workers that work in the airport have integrity. So because you do not know, and you are not going to be with that bag in the airplane, it is going to be in the hold or in the boot of the I told you the hold, or the HOLD, is the boot of the aircraft, like the boot of the car, where the big bags are kept. How can you be very sure that not because I'm in Cape Town or Johannesburg, my laptop is safe in the hard luggage, in the checked baggage? There is someone who told me something, by the way. Someone told me something regarding Johannesburg. She was saying that one day as she was alighting from the airplane, she saw people removing things from the bags. Literally, by the way. People are removing items from the bags, from other, I don't know how it happened. So what I can say, whether you are in Joburg, whether you are in Tel Aviv, whether you are in Paris, Charles de Gaulle International Airport, whether you are in Atatürk International Airport, Turkey, please, the laptop, let it go together with you. Your laptop, your camera, not unless otherwise. Not unless otherwise. Please always have your important items, because you never know, and you can never learn the mind of your. Yeah, thank you so much, Best Ever. Wow, 10:30 p.m. Also, I think it is the same. Thank you. So you can go and have rest. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. May the Lord bless you. Have a good rest. And before you go to rest, you pray to God, by the way. It is good always to put God even when you are resting, because when you pray when you are going to sleep, me when I pray when going to sleep, and I'm living holy, because you have to live a holy life. You cannot pray to God when you are dirty. So when I pray when I'm going to sleep, I normally have the godly dreams. So may the Lord give you godly dreams. May He communicate to you in your sleep, and may you rest easy until tomorrow. And may the Lord bless you, Best Ever. I love you with the love of Jesus. I shall be supporting you because you are genuine and authentic. Thank you so very much. Hallelujah. Yeah, pray. By the way, do you know what best ever? Sometimes I pray when I'm walking. You can make that a habit. When you are walking and you are not talking to anyone, you worship in your mind. You can be like, I hallelujah. I worship you, Jesus. I give you praise. I give you glory. I give you honor. Sometimes I normally do that, by the way. And it is very powerful. The devil cannot throw something into your mind. Because already now you are in worship and there is fire all over. Yes, thank you so much. Have a nice time. Good night. But I shall continue. Today I'm free. I can continue up to 1. Bye. So as you come in, like the video, my dear ones, may the Lord bless you. And your teacher is also an evangelist all the time. So as I teach about traveling, I combine with godliness. Because traveling is also spiritual. Some people assume that you can just enter the airplane and get out. Whatever you do in this life, whether you are entering a car, spiritual. So that even if someone has an evil motive against you, God can destroy that motive. There are people who planned bad things against others, and then God destroyed those schemes because He is called the living God. So when you keep yourself to God, because when you honor God, remember God will always be your protector. But when you ignore God, how can you then pray to Him? Even your children, if they ignore you, how can you also be their good father or mother? So God wants us to be close to Him by reading His word, by loving everyone. You have to love everyone in this world. I told you, love your enemies, even those that persecute you. Do never have anything against them. If they are in problem, kindly give them whatever they need if you have it. That is like heaping some burning coals on their head. So we have to be godly in everything. When you are doing YouTube, be genuine to one another. Yes. Remember, even if you refuse to support someone because there are some people who join your community and then I don't know what happens. They should remember that if God wants you to have 1 million subscribers, it's gonna happen. If God wants you to have 1 million watch hours, it's gonna happen because He's God. Yes. And He gives people to He prepares people to come and support the genuine people. So it is always good to have a genuine heart to everyone and to live together well in this life. Because how can you go to heaven where there is love and in this world you did not have love? That is a question, my dear. So let's love one another genuinely forever, because our God is also love. And your teacher is love. I love everyone. That is why you see when Beth ever comes here, I have to pay back love, because that is how we should do. Never pay evil for good. Pay good for good. And those who do evil also love them and pray for them. Because sometimes they do that because they do not know. Pray for them so that they can come to the right way and they can be, God can help them to be good people. So those are very important travel hacks. And those things are very important, by the way. They might look ordinary, but people have saved a lot of money due to that. Because when you do, you are planning way before. You cannot plan for a flight today and you are traveling tomorrow. Plan 3 days ago. Pack your things very well 3 days ago. I've seen people coming to the airport without a passport. You are traveling to a country, you don't have your passport that have the visa, and you are needed to go to work. People normally forget that. Please, please, please. If you are traveling internationally, especially internationally, by the way, because now locally you don't need a passport, not unless maybe otherwise. But internationally, you have to have a passport. Or if you are visa national, you need a visa. I've ever seen people coming to the airport, they make very long queues, and then later they discover they don't have the passport. Why don't they have? Because they planned late. Plan your trip early. If you are traveling internationally, for example, if you are coming from Uganda to the US, plan 3 days before. Put your things in order and put your passport in your hard luggage. Put the passport and anything else that you need in the hard luggage. Because I've seen people coming to the airport and they are long queues, and then later they start screaming that their passport, they don't have the passport. So they get offloaded, because you can never travel without a passport. Not unless you came early enough and you live nearby, you can send a taxi to go back home and pick for you. That you can send a taxi man or maybe a motorbike driver to go and pick that passport for you. But why can't you plan early and put the passport, the hotel booking, the invitation letters way before in your hard luggage? Plan 3 days before, pack everything. And then there's something else that I know, which is very, very critical and crucial. There's every airline have got its specific baggage policy. Every airline in the world have got specific baggage policy. And because people assume that everyone is genuine, you will assume that because I'm flying on this flight and it's a very nice flight going to the US or to wherever, it is well. You can even buy your own weighing, you buy your home weighing scale to weigh your bags at home before you go to the airport. Because as I keep telling you, not everyone who works in the airport, not everyone who works in wherever is have the same mind as you. So you can weigh your bag so that when you go to the airport, and then you are told that that bag is very, very heavy, because remember, when you have a very heavy bag, you can be required to pay for excess luggage. That is what we normally call it, excess luggage or extra weight. And extra weight is very expensive, and could be that bag is not even extra heavy, but anything can happen. I'm not gonna talk about that. Yes, so you can wear your bag before, or when you come to the airport early and you have got many counters that are not occupied. For example, in some airports internationally, we normally have got some counters at the check-in that the weighing scale. You know, the counters normally have weighing scales. Every counter have got a weighing scale whereby you put your bag, they weigh the bag, and then they can tell you whether the bag is heavy, whether you need to pay or to repack. So you can go to a weighing scale and put your bag and weigh yourself. So that when you go to that particular counter now, real time, to weigh your bags, if you see anything that is not adding up, you can raise alarm. But raise alarm with respect, because it could be genuine. So do never shout. If you notice that there's something that is happening, yes. There is someone who told me something that I was very scared. Someone told me something, I'm not going to say in which country, that the colleague was stepping on the scale. The colleague, one of the people were working in the counters, so one of the colleague was stepping on the scale to make it heavy. Just imagine. Someone steps on the scale. So, and because you are not suspecting, you cannot think that someone can do that. So that person is seated down, you come and put your bag on the scale, and then they put their foot on the scale to make it heavy. So when you put your bag on that scale, it weighs heavier than you think. Remember, in this life, you have got all categories and sorts of people from all walks of life. So before you come to the airport, you can weigh your bag in a different counter. So that when you weigh in the real-time counter, if anything happens, do not shout, please, because as your advisor, people get into trouble because of shouting. Because remember, when you shout, even whoever you are going to report it to cannot listen to you. Just keep cool and ask that person, I don't think that my bag weighs that. I do not think it weighs that much. So you can even request, very cool, you can request even for a supervisor. Let me see the supervisor of this flight. Remember, the supervisor can sort you better. You can either request for a supervisor or for the airline manager. The airline managers are normally very, very genuine, not unless otherwise, because I cannot speak for everyone, but most of them can be assistive. Yes, but in case you sense something sinister still, you can also go to the airport manager. You know, remember we have got airport managers in all airports. I'm not specific. I'll never be specific. Not unless sometimes you can go to the airline manager, to the supervisor. If she or he sorts you out, it's okay. If you think you are not satisfied, ask for the duty manager or the airline manager. Or if you are not even satisfied, remember, you can ask for the airport manager. In extreme cases, you can even call for the police, but be very calm. Never shout, never insult. Because it's not a matter that you are right. And because you are not very sure, just keep calm. And even if you discover that there was something going on that was not right, do not shout. Always keep calm. In the airports are normally very secure places. Do never shout, never be violent for any reason. So whatever somebody does to you, it shall be sorted amicably. I've seen such things happening with my eyes. Things were sorted, and the staff who did that, red flag. Yeah, they were flagged red. So don't worry. Whenever you go to any airport in this world, always be very keen on your surrounding. Check, even keep looking. When they are weighing that bag for you, look at the belt, whether the belt is free. So that when you put your bag, it will be your bag only. And be very, very keen. Look at your surrounding. Know who is behind you and in front of you. Know the activities that are going on. But never lose your temper at any point. I have seen people coming to particular airports, and when things happen, they kept very cool, and it was sorted very well, and they went home very happy. Because now when you start shouting, it also affects you. And remember, some people normally have got healthy conditions that do not want you to get angry or to such things. Because remember, anger can also affect your health. Yes. Remember, I'm an evangelist. I teach about spiritual matters, physical, psychological, and everything, and even the normal life. Yes. Because traveling is associated with so many things. Because it is spiritual too. Today, I'm not in a hurry, by the way. You can ask any question, and we can interact in the comment section, and like the video kindly and subscribe, my dear ones. Yes. I always say, when you water for others, you shall be watered for. That is the Bible. It is not changeable. So as you come in, like the video, as we continue with our topic, today there's a very wide topic. I'm talking about different things. Baggage, best tickets, best whatevers, the best time to book, to do your check-in. Yeah, checking in early is very important because you can choose your best seat. But when there is no available seat, they give you if there is no seat for your preference that is available, they give you any seat. They allocate to you any seat. So choosing your seat online 2 days before is good. Because already now you have the ticket and you know that you are traveling tomorrow or tomorrow but one. You can do the booking of your seat early enough. Early check-in. That is called online check-in. And remember, when you come, most of the flights, by the way, internationally, when you have done check-in online, they give you priority to go and just drop your bag. Not all the time. There are some areas that don't have the online counter, but at least you normally have your seat. So you have chosen the best. But most of the times, in most airlines, in international airports, they normally have got the counter for the passengers who have checked online. So when you come to the airport, your work will only be to go and drop your bag, because already you have your boarding pass, You have chosen your best seat, because remember, seats are not the same. And I taught you that sitting in the front is better than sitting in the back. And sitting on the corridor sometimes can be also good. Some people also prefer the window seat because there is no one who is going to disturb you. Remember, the window seat, you are just there alone, you can sleep. Yes. But the worst one that I don't like is the middle. But the aisle is the corridor. Aisle, I-S-L-E. The aisle seat is also good because it will be easier for you to stretch your legs at the corridor, and then you can also go to the washroom very easily. But not the one at the window must the one seated on the window must be excused by the one on the the one seated on the window must ask for permission from the one on the middle so that they can go to the washroom. So all these things are things that you can learn and make your choice depending on what you prefer. Because I hear people saying, I want an aisle seat because I want to be going to using the washroom frequently. Some say they want a window seat because they want to sleep. It all depends. So when you book early, you can choose the seat of your preference. The one that are never chosen are the middle. And now the middle you are normally given because there is no other available seat of your preference. Yes. Today I'm going to teach everything, but there's another time I'm going to come with a video regarding the US, because the US is also another destination that people normally come with wrong documents, as I've been saying. Not the US nationals, but the people who reside in the US. Maybe they work there with their African passports. They are not yet green card holders. They come with some documents that are not acceptable for going back to the UK, to the US, or to enter flights via the UK or anywhere. So like the video if you haven't, my dear. As your teacher continues teaching bravely as a lion. Your teacher is as brave as a lion, by the way, because she is the child of God. You know, when you are a child of God, you know the Lion of Judah is your dad. You like a lion too, because Jesus is the Lion of Judah, the Prince of Peace. And do never forget to carry an extra, a charger, or even, such things are important. You can carry a charger, you can carry some, what is it called? The other one for charging. The what? Yeah, those things for charging the phone extra, they are good. But in the airport, we normally have charging galaxies. But in case of anything, it's good to also have your charger, by the way. So, international traveling is hectic. It is not something that you just wake up and go. It pertains so many things before even you fly. And people normally save time and money because of having information. Yes, I'm saying this because I have seen people getting stuck in the airport for days and days. And they are frequent flyers. Some who have traveled frequently, but now they are stuck. Simply because they assume the small things. Never assume anything. Yes. Never assume. For example, because I touched on the US, I have been talking about the documents for the US that cannot re-enter. Some people normally very courageously come with those documents. And because they came from the US, they think they can go back to the same US. Please, before you use some documents, ensure that you inquire. Inquire before, because when you inquire, you can do the necessary things before you come to the airport. You waste your time with the taxi person, and then imagine that frustration. You have carried luggage. Some people even carry chapatis. You carry all those things, and when you come to the airport, you find that you cannot fly in the next 2 months. Because some procedures are very, 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 they can be very long. Like, for example, if you live in the UK with a biometric residence permit, and you lose that biometric, but nowadays it's good because now we are going online. You can never lose it now. But before, people were coming to the airport, and they have already lost their UK residence permits. The shortest time that process could take was 6 weeks. Imagine, and you are going to work. You come to the airport, but you don't have the BRP. We normally call it the BRP, biometric residence permit. Sometimes call it the BRC, biometric residence card. So you come to the airport and explain that you lost your card, and now I don't know, you have what, and then you are told now it is going to take 6 weeks because you have to do another application in the Visa Application Center, the VAC. You go to that Visa Application Center, they do their due diligence regarding you, and then they started the process of issuing another one. 6 weeks can elapse. So it's always good to be very well informed. And if you are not sure of anything, always ask without fearing. Ask without fearing from the from people who can advise you on what to do. That is very important. Traveling international is not a joke. You have to plan early. Plan 3 days before. Not today and you are traveling tomorrow. Plan today, plan at 3 days before, so that you can put all your things in order. There is something else that I noticed that is very funny. There are some passengers who normally want some seats. Maybe you want a particular seat, but now because the flight is full, they use their wisdom. I don't know whether we can call it wisdom or what we can call it, but anyway, it is human wisdom. You know, we have got different types of wisdom. We have godly wisdom and human wisdom. And I've seen it in several flights, not one time. So the passenger comes and they find that the flight is full, so they cannot get the seat of their preference. So what they do, when they enter the airplane, they tell the cabin crew they are sick. They wait until they board the aircraft, and then they go bedding like this. And they tell the cabin crew, I am sick. What happens after that, my dear? That one will be a total offload. Never try to do that. Because now the crew, when they hear sickness, they are going to tell you out of that airport. I've seen it very many times. And because the passengers normally don't know, they think that they can do that so that they can get a better seat. Remember, after the seats are only sorted at check-in or at the boarding gate. If you cannot get a good seat at check-in because they have been taken, because maybe you came to check-in late or you did not check online, it can only be sorted at the check-in. And then if the check-in cannot sort it, they can give you some hope sometimes and tell you to wait at the boarding gate if there is a no-show at check-in. Because remember, there are some passengers who are no-shows. They never appear at the airport. Though they have checked in online, they never appear. So sometimes you can get that seat of the passenger who is a no-show. So if they come to the gate and find that there is no-show, now they use their wisdom that they have to get the best seat again. So they wait until they get into the aircraft. Because now there is, remember in the airport when there is an availability of a seat, they cannot deny you. They normally give it out. Because now you are their customer and they value you very much. Remember, a customer is a king. A customer is a king. So if you ask for a seat, they can always give it to you if there is availability. If there is no availability, they can keep you on standby and tell you to wait until the flight is closed. So if there is a no-show, they can give you that seat. So after the check-in is closed, you find that there was no-show. Everyone came to the airport. So now, or maybe the one who was sitting in that better seat came. So now there is no availability of the better seat that you wanted. Now you go to the airplane and tell the cabin crew, I am sick. And in the real sense, you are not sick. Remember, whether you are sick or you are not sick and you tell the cabin crew that you are sick, the next thing they do, they are going to look for your bag and they are going to offload you. I have seen it severally. Do never do that. You shall be offloaded. I'm not particular in any airport. I'm talking generally. That is what happens with the flights. Remember, there is no flight that can carry a sick person without a letter from the doctor or without a doctor in that airplane. So if you come and declare to the crew after boarding that you are sick, thinking that they can give you a better seat because of saying that, what happens next is offload. And I've seen it severally. Now, when it comes to that point, the passenger starts saying, I am not sick. I can travel like that. Remember, the crew can't take you. Because it is very dangerous for any passenger to die on board the aircraft. It can happen because life can end anywhere, but they try to avoid that every time. So if you are not, so when you board the airplane and you are not feeling sick, don't go and tell the crew that you are sick. Because if you are sick, you are supposed to say that way before. They can look for the nursing sisters or for the doctor way before. The doctor can come and give a letter and say that you are okay to go. So I have seen that. Never do that in any airport. Otherwise, you shall be offloaded. It have happened many times. People normally come asking for seats, and later they go to the cabin crew in the airplane. They are bedding like this, and they say they are sick. What will happen, dear one, is called total offload. Now you are going to cause a long delay because now they have to go to the hold. I told you the hold is the boot of the aircraft. And we normally have got so many bags in containers that are packed in the airplane. So they have to look for that bag one by one for the bag. They remove all the bags to look for your bag. If you had any children, they are also removed. So please, just go into the airplane, even if it is a middle seat, just pray to God to give you peace. Go and sleep. Go to your destination in peace. Because remember, when you are offloaded, that one will be, it's not good. I don't imagine, that is very frustrating. And I know it is very frustrating, my dear ones. So never do that. But if you are very sick and it is genuinely you are sick, say it because they are going to offload you. And then you can be taken to the port health. Remember, many airports have got the port health, airport health facilities, where you can be taken there. They can help you. If they can't, you can be taken to a main hospital if you are very sick. Because when you are sick, you are sick. Never hide sickness. Because remember, as I told you earlier, when you go into the airplane and go higher and higher, because of the attitude and everything, sickness can advance. Yes, and remember, your body is very, your life is important. So don't, my dear, but never fake sickness when you are not sick. You are going to be offloaded. If you want a good seat, as I said before, always do online check-in or come early enough. If you want a better seat, because there are some seats that are better. Some have got a big leg room, where you can stretch your legs. Yeah, depending on the position of the seat. So if you have any query, the teacher today is very free to answer all the questions regarding traveling, because the teacher wants the audience to be well equipped with information regarding international travel. Today is a Tuesday in my country. I don't know what which date it is in your country, in whichever country you are watching from. Let's vibe together today. Let's talk about traveling. Let's talk about the do's and don'ts. I'll keep teaching and teaching. So that you can be well equipped before you make your next flight to Europe or anywhere. And there is something that I can tell you, my dear ones. There are some people who normally come wrapping their items with cartons. You know the carton. You come with a carton that have got a flammable sign. Maybe it have got a sign of something flammable. You know the flames. They normally have the flammable sign, and then you wrap it in a carton or anything that have got that flammable sign. Remember, flammable things cannot be carried in the airplane, not unless they are declared. So, if you have got such things, maybe you are wrapping your items with such a carton, you cannot carry it. Yes, you have to tear that carton and throw it away. Because I've seen people coming with such cartons. Something is well wrapped, and then it has got the flammable sign. Maybe you can, those flammable signs, maybe an explosive sign, because maybe you bought some gas with that carton, and then now because you are traveling. But anyway, you cannot carry it's not good to carry a carton in the airport. Remember, a carton, it can leak if there is it comes into contact with the liquid. It can tear. In the airport, in most airports, we normally have wrapping companies. But before you wrap your items, because I've seen people wrapping their items for safety and security, because when you wrap it very well, it will be free from leakage, from coming into contact with the liquid. It is also going to be very hard for people to maybe tear that wrap to steal your things. So, but before you do the wrap, by the way, that's another point. Before you do any bag wrap in the airport, ensure that you know the weight. Go to the check-in, let them weigh the bag, and then now you can go to the wrap, because we have got such facilities in the airport. They wrap for you very well. Maybe you have got a souvenir, like for example, you could be having like a walking stick that you bought as a souvenir. And remember, you cannot carry a walking stick in the airplane if you are not limping. And if you are limping, it has to be evident that you are limping. So if you bought it as a souvenir or maybe a club, you can wrap it very well. They can wrap for you with the sponge, and then they put the polythene on top, and then they can put a claim tag on that thing so that it cannot get lost. But before you do that, for the baggage, ensure that you weigh the bag. After confirming the weight, now you can go and wrap your bag. It is normally very safe. By the way, it is very safe. Because sometimes I've ever seen bags that were rained on and they were smelling so much. Because remember, some bags can miss connection. Some bags can miss connection due to various reasons. And then maybe in that destination, they get rained on when they are being offloaded from the airplane, because sometimes it rains heavily. And remember, sometimes the operations have to go on. Though they try to cover your bags with the polythene, it can get into contact with the liquid, maybe with water. And maybe whatever is inside there is clothing, or maybe food stuff, or anything. Those things can get spoiled. So wrapping your bag, by the way, is also a good thing. But before you wrap the bag, and the bags that can be wrapped are only the checked baggage, not the hard luggage. Do never wrap the hard luggage. Because remember, the hard luggage, when you go upstairs, we have got more security in some airports. For the hard luggage that you are carrying in yourself, or within your, that you are carrying into the airplane, you cannot wrap. You can only wrap the whole baggage. But before you wrap it, ensure that the weight is okay. Yes, because I see people coming to the airport, before they go to the check-in, they run to the wrapping machines. The bag is wrapped, and then when you go to the counter, excess weight. Now you start crying that I have paid. Because remember, when you do the wrapping, you pay for it. So do not rush to do that. We have to save our time and money and our peace. We have to have peace. We have to save time and money. So never make that mistake. So before you travel, my dear, those are some of the travel hacks. I know they are mind-blowing. They are beautiful. They're going to help you. Whether you are traveling to Africa, whether you are traveling to wherever, they are travel hacks, and they are so important for everyone. Yes. For the business class passenger, for the first class, for the economy, all the people. And if you have an old parent, by the way, I've seen so many things. There are some people who come to the airport, maybe it's an old parent, maybe a grandmother, and they are going to visit their children abroad. And they cannot communicate. Though in the airport they can get help, you can write for them something in large letters. For example, I've seen some writing for their parents a very nice, like a banner with large letters that I am going to New York, but I do not speak English or Kiswahili. There are some who don't speak, for example, from Kenya, maybe you don't speak English or Kiswahili. Maybe you are coming from Congo, you don't also speak English or Kiswahili, and your parent is, no, the parent cannot speak in either the Kiswahili, because even in Congo, they speak Swahili or English or even French. So what you can do, you can write for them something in English or even in French, depending on the country that they are coming from. You can write for them, I am this and this, kindly help me. I cannot speak any other language apart from my mother tongue. Write for them in English, write for them in France if it is applicable. If they are departing from a French-speaking country, you can write for them a banner so that whoever sees, and then tell them to be holding it like this. Whoever sees them can help them. But anyway, they can never get lost. They are going to get help from the cabin crew. They can even show the cabin crew that banner, so that if they reach the US, for example, they can be assisted to go to the other gate, because they could be going to New York and their final destination is another place in the US. Or maybe they are going to Frankfurt and their final destination is Munich, Germany. So it is good to write for them something very, very clear, so that someone who sees that can assist them. We have assisted so many people, maybe a grandmother or someone who cannot speak any other language other than their mother tongue. So we help them a lot. You can even connect them to a passenger who is going to that destination and tell them, when you disembark from the airplane, or when you come from the airplane, when you reach the destination, kindly show her the other gate so that she cannot be stranded. So do never be worried. Do never be worried, because anyway, there are people who can help. There are people who can assist. It is possible. Never be worried. Write for them a banner. It can be of great help to them. And when you have got such people who are not very conversant with airports, check, maybe they can only check one bag and another one and another a smaller one. Because remember, when you give somebody too many hard luggages, maybe two or maybe very many checked baggage, and they are not even conversant with what goes around in the airport, they can lose some bags. I've seen people coming with maybe two hard luggages and they are confused. They forget one of the luggage at the screening. They forget them in the toilet, wherever. If someone is not very conversant, do not load them with too many baggage. Let them carry one piece of hard checked baggage and another hard luggage, so that you can put everything in the hard luggage. And if she is traveling to a destination that is in winter, tell her to put on her heavy jacket. But when she is going through the screening, she can remove it, screen it, and then put it back. But the other items, she can have them in the small bag. Because I've seen people getting confused. You are carrying too many luggage. Maybe you have a smaller baby and you forget something. Remember, you can forget it somewhere before you get to know where that bag is. Things can have gotten worse. So sometimes in the airport, do not carry so many pieces of luggage for any reason. Don't carry so many things. Don't carry so many bags. Carry one hard luggage. If you have a hard luggage, you can carry one. And then a laptop bag, by the way, laptop bag, because a laptop is also important. And then have the hard luggage. It will be so easy for you to know that I have one laptop bag, another small piece of luggage, and the other big bag that went to the hold. That one can be very easy for you, instead of carrying so many things and then you forget or lose some. Yeah. And maybe you are naive, you are not a frequent flyer. Any questions so far? Any query regarding traveling? Kindly, when you come in, like the video as we continue. Like the video, kindly, my dear, and greet me so that I may know who is there, because I love you with the love of Christ. Always put God first in this life, whether you are traveling, whether you are doing anything. And never complain about anything. If you are left by a flight, never complain. You never know why you are being left. If you find that maybe when you go to that destination, the flight has already left, never mind, as long as you are right. God could be protecting you from something that you never know. There is somebody I cannot talk about who was saying, it was a Greek national, by the way, a European national. You know, Greece is in Europe. The Greek national was saying that they went to a particular airport that I cannot tell. And they did not, okay, what happened? He was claiming his baggage. He was a gentleman claiming for his baggage. And now he was making noise and saying, whenever he goes through that airplane, his bag normally misconnects. It never connects. So he was complaining and complaining. And then someone told him, do you know something? The flight that you are talking about, everyone on that flight dash have happened. I will not talk about, because it was very horrifying. Something real happened, by the way. Something real happened. So that gentleman was saying, whenever he is going to travel in this world, even if he gets a delay, even if he does not get his bags, he shall never complain. Because that is what saved him. You know what he said before even he got the bad information? He was saying, before he got that information, I cannot leave this airport before I see my bag. Because remember, maybe the bag had valuables. So he was complaining and saying he cannot leave that airport because he has to leave with his bags, not knowing that ill fate had gotten that airplane. Ill fate. So when he was told that something bad had happened, he said, I will never complain in this life. If I miss my bags, I'll always keep quiet and go. And that is what I can advise you, by the way. Because remember, everything in this life is spiritual, as I've been singing. You can be complaining because the flight has left you, but God was saving you from something very serious, but you don't know. So you start banging the tables and whatever's, and God has saved you from something very, very, I cannot even explain it. So when you miss anything that happens to you in the airport, because I have seen so many things that in the airport that makes me wonder, why can't you only keep quiet if something bad has happened and wait to be sorted out? And people are normally sorted very well. I normally see some people and they have got children. There's another time I saw a family with very young children, a very young child, sorry. And when they were told they can't fly, they were so cool. Very cool. And they have a small baby, by the way. And they were saying that the baby wants to go in and sleep. But now imagine, when you keep quiet, you are going to be sorted out. You can be given a hotel, maybe a lounge, maybe something. And you are going to be in peace. So please, even if something has happened, maybe there is a misconnection of your bag, maybe the flight have left you, always consider to be very cool. When you are very cool, it will work out very well for you, because they are going to sort you out, and you are going to find out later that there was no problem. Going home that day does not mean that you are going to change anything. Maybe you are traveling to, for example, you are going to Tel Aviv, Israel, and we are going back home maybe from a holiday, it will not change a lot if you miss that flight and you are sorted out because it is not your mistake. So always don't lose your cool. Always be patient. Patience is very important, because now you are going to be in peace and you are going to travel safe. But imagine you came for holiday and then after, when you are going back, you insult everyone, you throw your hats in the air, you make a lot of noise, you call people F words. I don't think that one is a wise decision. I don't think it is a wise decision. So always wait for the decision by the airline workers. They're going to sort you out and you're going to travel safe. Because remember, God could be saving you from something that you did not know. Very, very sad. I cannot explain. There are some things that I don't explain, but I know you know. Yeah. Like the video kindly and say hi to me. I can see we are 3. Kindly say hi to me so that I can know who is there, so that I can salute you in the name of Jesus. Your trainer loves her visitors. I do not take my visitors for granted. Kindly say hi to me. Say hi and like the video. Double click. Tap the screen. For the baby food, if you have got baby food, it is not necessary for them to be 100 milliliters. For the baby food, because you could be even carrying a packet of milk, and some packets of milk are 500 ml. For the baby food, you are free to carry, but you have to have that baby, and if they tell you to taste, it is possible. You can do it. For the baby food, you have an allowance. Yes. Because you have to travel in peace. You cannot travel with a baby without the baby food. You cannot rely on the food in the airplane. You need to carry some milk. So if you are traveling with a baby, ensure that you carry for them milk, even if they are breastfeeding, because you can be breastfeeding, but maybe because you are not going to eat well in the journey, you can lack that milk. I've ever seen some people with the babies, the baby is crying the head off because they are very hungry, and they are just breastfeeding the babies, and the baby is not there is no milk that is being produced, simply because maybe you are hungry, maybe you are from a journey, and you do not have anything extra for the baby. Remember, in the airport, things are expensive. Buying milk in the airport is not like buying from home. And for milk, you can carry from home. You can carry from the town, from home. For the milk, you can carry powdered milk, and you can carry hot water, by the way, for the baby. That one is allowed. But if they ask you questions regarding that, answer without being bitter. Because you cannot have a baby, and you are traveling internationally, and you don't have some extra milk. That one can be very bad. There's a baby I saw crying very hard because he was hungry. I was feeling so bad. The mother doesn't have any milk because she's on a journey. She hasn't eaten well, and she has nothing extra for the baby. She has no cash to buy the food, the whatever. And you remember, we don't have powdered milk in the airport. I've never seen in most airports. But you can have maybe the normal milk, which can be expensive. So carry your milk from home. You can carry the the long life milk, and then some water in a hot flask. And then you can also carry powdered milk with some extra clean water, with clean whatever. And you carry some clean utensils for the baby, because remember, the airport items can be very contaminated. Even if the airport is cleaned, please never trust always be very cautious with your baby. Yes. The baby is very sensitive. The baby's stomach is sensitive. Carry them with their food, their milk. Like the video, guys, kindly. And may the Lord bless you. Grace, hi, my namesake. Hi, dear. Thank you for checking in, Grace. You are my namesake. And I normally visit you many times because you are my namesake. I'm also Grace. Grace travels and visa requirements. Thank you for visiting, Grace. Yeah, I'm giving tips regarding airport, whatever you are supposed to do in the airport, in the airplane, and even before you fly, because you have to plan your journey well before. If you have a baby, pack their milk, pack their dried or whatever, their powdered milk, pack some hot water in a flask, because that is allowed for the baby. Anything else that is above 100 milliliters that is not baby food is not allowed. Never carry maybe lotions that are above 100 ml, but for the baby, you can carry, and sometimes they can request you to taste that whatever, the baby milk or any baby drink. Do never forget to carry baby milk, because sometimes you could be feeding the baby, but you don't have any milk you don't have any milk because you have not eaten well. I've ever seen people in the airport with small babies. The babies are crying because they are hungry. The mother have got nothing for the baby, nothing extra, and they have no money to buy for the baby's milk in the airport. Carry your milk from home. You can carry a packet of milk, a sealed packet of milk from the supermarket. You can carry water in a flask. You can carry powdered milk. Ensure that your baby is, or you can even carry food for them, by the way. You can carry food for the baby. If if the baby is already, maybe they can take hard food. Always be very prepared because remember, some flights are very long. There are some flights that are very long. Yes, and sometimes you go to a long flight and then you go on transit in another destination. You could be coming from, you could be traveling maybe you are traveling from Ethiopia to Germany, and then from Germany you are connecting to New York. Those transit points also, you remember there are some transit points can be long also. So always be very prepared for the whole journey. Before you even come out of your house, always prepare for the transit point and to the final destination. Yes, traveling international is not traveling by bus. It is some destinations are very far. Like going to Australia is normally very far. For example, if you are coming from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi, going through Malaysia, because that is the most common route to Australia, or maybe via Singapore, it is very long. Imagine Nairobi to Malaysia, or Nairobi to Singapore, and then Singapore to Australia. Just imagine how long that can be. Remembering Australia is very far. Prepare yourself with baby milk. You can carry also dried foods for yourself. You can carry dried foods, for example, peanuts. Peanuts are genuine for the peanuts, you can carry them in the airplane or even in the checked baggage. Yes, sometimes do not just rely on the food in the airplane. Not everyone can eat that food, by the way. And most of the time, it is normally very heavily spiced. So if you don't take heavy spice, the food in the airplane is normally spiced. Yes, because I have ever eaten that food. I have ever traveled. It is normally spiced. So you can carry something or you can even take something before you enter the airplane. You can eat something, but be very careful not to have food poisoning. Be very careful so that you cannot have food poisoning. But for the peanuts, maybe for the dried foods, you can put them in the checked baggage just to be safe. But even if you enter with peanuts or crisps, the potato crisps, those you can enter with in the airplane. For the potato crisps, biscuits, those are allowed. If you buy sodas from the duty-free shops in some air... Salome, hi. Wow, thank you, dear. Welcome. And like the video. Today I'm not in a hurry because I'm off duty. Today I'm going to do along because I'm off duty today, Salome. Thank you so much, darling, for coming. Yes. I hope you have liked the video. I'm teaching about how to prepare internationally when you are traveling. How to prepare when you are before you travel internationally. Because I've seen a lot of crises. Someone have got smaller babies. They did not even prepare for their food. They did not carry anything extra for the babies. And some flights can be very long. Yes. Carry the baby milk, please, because it is allowed. Any other drink must not be more than 100 milliliters. But for the babies, please carry something. If you have got smaller babies, do not forget Pampers, extra Pampers. People normally come with only the one pamper, the one that the baby, please come with extra Pampers. You can have one packet extra, one packet. Have some clothing to change the baby. Yes, because we normally have got very nice clean washrooms. Don't clean in quotes. Whenever I say anything clean in the airport, remember it is clean in quotes. They are washed, by the way. But remember you have to be very careful, because even if they are clean, they are not clean. They are cleaned but not clean. Because remember, those are international airports. We normally have got diverse passengers. Some could be having infections. Anything can happen in the airport, by the way. You can have any infection, or even if it is cleaned, when you are changing the baby, be very careful. Wash your hands very hygienically, sanitize, and put another. Do not put them on those changing things without putting your own something, maybe your own baby show, or maybe a sheet, because remember that is international airport, and everyone changes their babies in those changing whatevers. So be very careful, but always trust in God anyway, because it is God who will protect us even from infections. You cannot overprotect yourself. But carry extra clothing for the baby, carry extra Pampers for the baby, carry food for the baby, my dear. Do not say that you have got milk, you are breastfeeding, because remember, when you are traveling very far, and the airport food cannot give you milk in your teats, by the way. You cannot eat enough to get milk to feed the baby in the airport. You cannot. So always have extra food for your baby. Yes, that is nice to know. And if you have any question, you can ask, because I normally post for a question. I normally post for a question, Salome. Salome, how was your day? And where are you, Salome, by the way? My girl. My good girl. My beautiful girl, oh. Oh, you are tired. Sorry, you are from work. You can go and rest, dear. Thank you for checking in. Sometimes, thank you, Dad. Oh, I know you are tired. You are tired. How is the golf? But now you are free to. Right now you are not working, or you are on duty. Thank you so much, Salome. Yeah. And may the golf accept you. May the Gulf accept you. Remember, when you are accepted by a country, of the soil of that country, you prosper. So may the Gulf accept you, and may the Lord expand your horizons. I normally get so tired sometimes when I come from a night shift. I normally sleep and then I normally feel so sleepy. So I normally freshen up, sleep, and then now when I wake up, I'm energetic to do anything. So if you feel, oh yeah, it is Ramadan, by the way, yeah, that is nice. But Kaz is good. Salome, it is good to work. Yeah, it is good to work, by the way. You know what, Salome? I've been working for all those years to date. There are some people who normally get employment and then they start complaining. Before they get the employment, they are praying to God to give them the employment. Immediately they get the employment, they start complaining. This work, I don't know what. That one is not up. It shouldn't be that way. When you get to work, do that work. If you need to change that work, pray to God to give you another, but never complain. And never do your work with an evil motive. Always work very hard. Always work very hard wherever you are employed, so that God in heaven can give you a tick. Remember, when you work in this life, in this world, your boss could be unreasonable. Anything can happen, but on your part, be authentic, work very hard, work very well, not necessarily hard. Work very well, please, be obedient, because that one is well-pleasing to God. There are people who forget that they were praying. Maybe you prayed for that work. Maybe even you fasted, and then when you got that job, you start talking the way you want. I've seen it in the airport, and I hate that murmuring and complaining. Yes. Me, if I feel very tired with something, what I can do, and I take a step. Yeah, thank you so much, Salome. That is so nice. Don't complain because there is someone who wants to come there and work where you are working, and maybe they cannot get that chance. That is a golden opportunity. So it is good to respect work, to work very well, and to be obedient. If you get tired, me, what I normally say, if I get, like, for example, where I was working before, I worked there for 18 years, by the way, and I worked to the level best. I worked to the level best for 18 good years. So I changed to the place where I am now. When I got very tired, I just resigned because of many reasons. Simply because I wanted to have time. It was a good place, by the way. I cannot complain. And I pray for that company to prosper. And it's a good place. But I wanted to get some time to go to church because I am an evangelist by call, by the way. So I needed to be working, to be going to the evangelist meetings, to be going to outreach on one-on-one meetings. So I resigned very well with respect. I gave a notice and then I exited. But now there are people who are, but imagine it's after 18 good years. So what I can say, always thank God for what you have. People do not normally what they have until they don't have it. So thank you so much, Salome, please. May the Lord bless you. Even during this Ramadan, work, and pray to God and tell him what you want. God is not, God is our Father, by the way. Whatever you tell him, if it is according to his will, he's gonna fulfill it. As I teach regarding traveling, I also teach about authenticity in life, in real life. Yes. So as you come in, darlings, Like the video. If you haven't clicked the button, subscribe kindly. And may the Lord bless you for your support. I do not take it for granted. I always pray for my, by there I always pray for my subscribers. I normally tell God, whoever subscribes to my channel, God bless them. And if anyone comes to my channel and comments, if you want if you want us to connect, always comment and let us support each other by watching watching each other's videos. Remember, you can only all. Casey, hi, wow, thank you, darling. I'm happy to see you. I was wondering where is my Casey, my beautiful one from Jamaica. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you for coming back. I wondered where you disappeared to, but I thought you went to sleep. It is good to rest, Elizabeth. But then, if you have a visitor, you have to go and take care of the visitor. Casey, thank you so much. I cannot tell you to connect because I know you connected to Elizabeth already. Elizabeth connected to you yesterday, and I was very happy because I have been teaching about that. Me, whenever you come to me and connect, and you are genuine, we connect. Oh, you are at work. Oh, thank you so much, Casey. You are in a meeting. Don't worry, even if you show up for a few minutes, it is genuine. I know that you are very genuine. For you, I do not take, I never, Grace, thank you, darling. Thank you so much, Grace. And I think Grace and Casey, you have connected. Have you connected Grace and Casey? Because I do not know I connected to Grace from which channel. Maybe from Casey or from somewhere. Always connect authentically. And I mean connecting by watching other people's videos. Connect authentically. If someone cannot connect authentically, please beware. Be very careful. Yes. Thank you so much, Grace, my namesake. May the Lord bless you. Yes, thank you so much, Casey. Casey, yeah. Elizabeth is greeting you, Casey. Yeah, you are new subscriber. You are new visitor. Yeah, thank you. Keep loving each other. Remember, when we love each other, our channels shall explode. By the way, our channels shall go to 1 million subscribers. This is not a joke, by the way. We are going to go heights. As long as we are authentic to one another, we have love. Yeah, Grace, we connected a long time with you. So I know you connected with Casey too. Because Grace is also a good supporter. My namesake is a good supporter. You know, the name Grace is also a nice name. Grace is a nice name. Grace, people who are called Grace should always be good. The amazing Grace. We are amazing. We are all amazing. And we are the products of Grace. And that's why we are doing YouTube channels, and they are going to go heights. Grace, by the way, I told God I want to have 1 million subscribers. Million, not only 1,000. I was praying for 1,000, but now I'm praying for 1 million because it is possible. And very many watch hours. Because God can give you whatever you want as long as it is according to His will, and you are doing a right niche. You are doing a right niche of teaching people, or anything that you do may be lifestyle that is authentic. Yes. Salome, thank you, darling. Thank you so much, Salome. May the Lord bless you so much. Yeah, we are going heights. Even you, Salome, in Gulf. May the Lord take you heights. Whatever I advise here is what I do, and it is what I've been doing for the many years I've been in the airport. So whatever I advise, and that's why you see, I'm not saying doing a live stream is bad. Neither silent. They are normally called silent live, or because I like what? Connecting to my audience real time. I want to connect with Grace to KB real time. I want to connect with KC, but I also do other videos. But now with this stream, I've never done. I do videos by day or live, so that when I come live, someone can ask a question. And I never ignore any question. Even if you ask in any video that I've done, I'm gonna answer that question. Because whatever I teach here is very, very authentic. Yes, I have cleared passages to every destination in this world. To the US, to Caribbean, to North America. You know, the US is in North America. US in North America. Canada is in North America. Grenada is in North America. We have got so many countries in North America. Some in Central America, some in South, some in whatever. I have handled many flights, many passengers. So I know very many rules regarding international traveling and what you are supposed to have. Because remember, some of these rules are not taught. You are not going to be taught that don't come with this to the airport. But when you come with it, my dear, you cannot travel with it. So that is why we normally chip in. Because that is what God put in me, to be teaching people, because some things you cannot be taught. Yes, even in law, and even in Bible, the Bible says, or even the law, ignorance is no defense. So even if you don't know that you're not supposed to carry items, maybe liquids that are above 100 milliliters, when you come with them to the airport, you cannot take them. So it is good to know, because I normally teach here, that any liquid, maybe anything that is liquid form, maybe you have got perfume, it must be below 100 milliliters, or it must be 100 milliliters or below, not above. And if you're not aware of that and carry those things, they'll be confiscated. And that is why I normally say, when you come to the airport, do not release your people who came to escort you before you board the flight. Let them wait for you outside. After you board the flight, after you go through security and confirm that you are good to go, you can now call them and tell them, now you can go home. I have seen things happening. Somebody is brought to the airport, the family comes, and then they leave to go home. And then later there is a problem. And the family have already taken Uber to go back home, very long, very, very far away. Now they have to come all the way back because there is a problem that have there is a problem that have arisen. Which problems can be that? Maybe you have a long route. There are people who normally have a long routing. And when you go to the check-in, sometimes they do not know the visa requirements or the transit requirements. The check-in agents in any airport are not security, or they are not document checkers. So you can come with your passport, and you have maybe your visa if you need one, because not all people need visas. There are some people who do not need visas to particular destinations. But in this case, you come to the airport, anywhere in any airport. So you check in. The check-in agents do not realize that you have got a problem with your transit. So they check you in, they give you the boarding pass, and then you go upstairs to board the flight. Upstairs, we have got security people who know the rules. They know that Salome cannot fly via this destination without a visa. There are people who need visas even when they are transiting particular destinations. For example, the US destination, no one can transit the US without a visa. Only they are Canadian. So any other person, whether you are British, whether you are what, you have to have a visa to fly via the US. So people normally bring their people and then they leave. And then later the passenger discovers they cannot fly because of a particular problem. And because changing a ticket can be problematic, depending on where it was bought, or depending on the routing, maybe there is no other available ticket to take that passenger to that destination without passing through that problematic destination. They are offloaded, and now they do not know what to do. Now they have to call the relatives or the whoever were escorting and tell them to come back to the airport so that they can pick them and take them back home. Before the passenger boards the flight, do not leave the airport, because anything can happen. Even in case they have got excess luggage or items that they cannot carry, an airport staff can assist you to take those items to your passengers, to your relative outside, by the way. Although it is not official. For requesting the airport staff to do anything for you free of charge is normally just out of goodwill, because you are not supposed to pay for anything. You can request, and then they can rush that item to your relatives instead of losing that item, because it could be a precious item that you bought from maybe the duty free. No, maybe you bought from home, maybe you bought from wherever. So do never tell the people to go back before you board the flight. After you board the flight, now you can say, after you are sure that you have gone through all security controls, because remember, some airports have got several security controls, but the final one is the boarding gate. After you go through the boarding gate control, now you can tell your relatives to go home. Yes, do never forget that, my dear ones. Never forget that one, because most people normally suffer a lot. The family leaves, Sometimes they switch off their phones, and then the passenger is left crying in the airport. No, never switch off your phone, by the way. Especially when you have brought a child in the airport, because there are some flights that allow minors in the airport. There are some flights, by the way, that allow minors. And minors, I mean 16 years and below. Some flights, not all of them. Yeah, because remember, a minor can be, some flights refer them as young passengers. So they come and bring them to the check-in. The minor or the young passenger goes and checks in, get the boarding pass, and then they go up. And remember, they could be also having a documentation problem. Maybe they do not have a particular visa for a particular destination, or maybe for a transit point. And remember, this is a minor. So do never leave the airport before the minor goes through security in the boarding gate. Yes. And when they are settled in the waiting lounge, where we have waiting lounges. Not everywhere we have waiting lounges. There are some airports when you check in, after you go through security, you go to board. You go to the aircraft. But some airports have got different setup. After you go to the security, you start with security. Then you go to the check-in. Then after check-in, you go to immigration. After immigration, we have another security sometimes, security check. And then you go to the boarding gate. The boarding gate is the final one. But in the boarding gate, there could also be another security for that airline. Because we normally have a difference between airport security and airline security. Some airlines to Europe normally do a further security to ensure that everything is well. So before they go through all that, do not leave the airport. So in case of anything, they can even request a staff to call you, and you can sort out. You can wait for them so that you can take them back home. So do not leave immediately after bringing your passenger in the airport. Anything can happen. And when you come in, darlings, like the video, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much for your support. I'll continue today teaching and teaching. Anything that I remember, I teach. Because all what I'm teaching is very, very, very important. Whatever I'm teaching here is very important. Though it may look simple, it can save you big time. There is another thing I've seen in the airport, and that is a very huge mistake. There are some people who normally come in a group. You are traveling to the same destinations, maybe with some relatives or family members or even friends, and you are traveling together. So when you come to the check-in, you check the bags together. And maybe, and I'm saying this in any airport, I'm not specific, any airport. So when you check in together, maybe one of you will have a document issue. Remember, you could be traveling together, but one of you can have a documentation issue. So you go and check in and pull your bags together. After you go through check-in, you go through immigration, you go through security upstairs, and then you go to the boarding gate. Remember, in the boarding gate, because it is the final place where you are going to board the aircraft, you have to go through document checks. In most setups in international airports, you have to go through document checks. In any airport, I'm not specific with any airport. KC seeds, what kind of seeds? Because remember, such things are not allowed. Such things are not allowed, not unless you declare them. You cannot just put them anyhow. For example, maybe I'm coming to visit you in Jamaica, or maybe I'm going to visit the US. There are people I've ever seen even carrying potatoes. You know potatoes. No, if you are going to carry such things, KC, you have to declare them. That one, declare them to the customs in your country. Declare them. So that is a bit complicated. You have to declare them. Yes. Because of what? Because some things can have diseases. You know why some countries do not like some such things? Even animal products. They could be having some plant diseases, or they could be having some, for example, I cannot carry meat to the US. Why? That meat could be contaminated. But in some destinations they allow. There are people who normally carry food, even to Dubai, for example. You can carry maybe frozen food. Maybe those people who work in Dubai, they even carry some frozen meat, depending. But sometimes, if they are found in the airport, sometimes they can be confiscated. So for the plant seed, declare them to the customs. Yes, because now most of the plant plans, you cannot carry them to another destination. Such things must be done through the Ministry of Health or the whatever the World Health Organization. There are some things that can be transported with the due arrangement, but now as a person KC on your own, you cannot carry. Don't carry as you on your own as KC, because you can arrive with them in the destination and then you get fined and then a lot of complications. Some of these things must be carried with the conjunction of the World Health Organization. Because remember, plants can have germs. They could be having these plant diseases. Yeah, well, like for animal products, maybe eggs, maybe meat could also be having plant or whatever animal products diseases. So such things, they can only be carried by organizations because they have gone they undergo through due processes. That one is a due process because they have to go to be verified by the WHO, the World Health Organizations, and that is a process. That is a process because it is possible. It is possible, but it's a process. But not on your own, it cannot be. So do not carry plant seeds. Don't. So some things can be carried, but with whatever, with the permit, with the what do we call it? They have to be licensed to be done. Some things have to be licensed so that they can be done. And that one can be costly because you have to pay a lot of money, by the way. You have to pay a lot of money. You have to involve so many, what are they, stakeholders? Yes, they can be carried, but with a reason. And the country that you are taking them also have to verify that you are taking those items so that on arrival, you can go through the customs of that country. So some things don't even try. Meat products, what, eggs, potatoes, whatever, no, don't. Yeah, thank you so much, KC. There was something that I was saying, but I forgot. KC reminded me. There's something that I was talking about, but I forgot. So what I was saying, I remember, so what I was saying, when you are checking the bags, do not pull them together. If KC, we are traveling with you, for example, check your bags as KC. I have remembered KC. I was talking about passengers who travel together, maybe in a group. When they are traveling together, they normally have got, maybe you have 2 bags, I have 2 bags, and the other passenger have got 1 or 2, and then we pull the bags together because we are traveling together. Not remembering, one of us can have a problem, maybe a documentation issue. So at the check-in agent can forget to ask you, whose bag is this? So we check in randomly. So maybe your bags, KC, are under my name. When we reach the boarding gate, I have got a documentation issue because it can happen. So I'm supposed to be offloaded because I can't fly. Because maybe KC, the passport that she holds is okay to transit a particular destination, but my passport cannot transit. It happens. I have seen that happening, by the way, even with family members. I have seen family members, maybe some family members have got US passports, the other passengers have got African passports, and they cannot fly by a particular destination. And when they reach the boarding gate, we normally declare an offload. So now they are starting to offload the bags of this person, and unfortunately, the bags have been tagged on the other passenger's name. That one can cause another very long delay when they are looking for all the other bags. Do you know why we normally put each passenger with their bags? Because in case of anything, we can offload very effectively. For example, if it is KC who is being offloaded, we can go and look for KC bags. We go and look in the container, maybe the container to New York, maybe the container to Jamaica, and we offload your bag because bags are normally loaded depending on where they are going. But now, unfortunately, KC's bags were tagged under my name, and KC is not traveling. We have to offload so many bags. We look for your bags and my bags so that you can go personally and identify and say this is my bag so that they can be removed from the aircraft. Because there is no way a bag can travel without a passenger. very hot by the, I was opening the window. So the bag cannot fly without a passenger. A bag can be left behind and the passenger can go, but a bag cannot fly without a passenger. That is normally called a red bag. That one is a security issue. There is no way, like, for example, I can go to the airport, when I am offloaded, my bag be ready to go and I'm not flying. That is very dangerous because it can cause a security breach. So if I'm not flying, my bag have to be offloaded. So when you are checking in as a group, ensure that everyone have got their bags. If you have 2 bags, go and declare those 2 bags KC. Get your claim tags, because remember, when you check in, you are given your claim tag. Get your claim tag that is under your name for your bag. Also, if it is myself now, let me also get my claim tag, because in case of any offload, my bags can be removed very easily without causing any delays. Because remember, delays are very expensive. When a flight delays because of such a reason, passengers can miss their connection in the next flight. For example, if we are traveling to Amsterdam and we have got a delay from Ethiopia, we can miss our flight in Amsterdam. We can miss a flight to the US. For example, we could be going from Ethiopia, Addis Ababa Bole International Airport, going to Amsterdam. And in Amsterdam, we are going to board maybe United Airlines to New York. Now we can miss our flight because of the delay. The delays are very costly. So when you are checking in, my dear, kindly check your bags personally. Do not check as a group. Check your bags personally to avoid any hiccups in case of offload. Because I've seen even parents with children, the child have got a mistake, maybe in the passport, and they cannot fly. Maybe a big child. You know, there are some child who can be left alone behind. But now, in case the child is very young, we have to offload everyone, because the child cannot be offloaded alone. They cannot go back home alone. So that is very good to note. The bags should be checked under each passenger's name, so that in case of anything, we shall not waste any time when offloading. So any questions so far? I continue thanking you for your support, for checking in. I don't take this for granted. When you come in, like the video, as we continue with our nice topic, nice tips regarding how to check in. When you come in, like the video, as we continue, because these are international, whatever I'm talking about is international in any airport. These are mind-blowing hacks, and they help everyone, whether you are a frequent flyer or a new flyer. Double click, tap the screen kindly, tap. So in the airport, everything that is taught, I'm teaching about the airport is for international airports. Whether you are in Addis Ababa, when you are in Ataturk International Airport, anywhere you are, you can use these tips and be successful. Because I normally tell myself, flights are very long. Most international flights are normally very long. And if I'm not comfortable during that flight, maybe I forgot something, maybe I don't know what, it can be very frustrating. But people who normally come, there are people who are I normally like very much. They normally come to the airport and they do not even want to throw aloud. They want to just get in the holding lounge and wait to board. They do not want any hiccups. That is very powerful. They come early, they settle very early, and when they are departing, they are cool. But now, my dear, some people normally come to the airport with everyone from their family. They go to the restaurant outside the airport. They take their sweet time. They take their photographs. By the time they are remembering that they have somebody who is traveling, they hear the announcement in the loudspeakers, they start rushing. Sometimes they miss the flight. Always tell your relatives, you can even leave them at home. You can even come with one. Do not come with the whole vehicle, because they can really confuse you. They will confuse you. They want to take a photo. Grandmother want to take a photo with you. The great grandmother, the who, and then later you find that the flight have departed, or maybe you are almost left. Remember what I said about the boarding gate. You have to be at the boarding gate 1 hour before departure. I can say that again. At the board, not at check-in. At check-in, you have to be 3 hours before departure in the airport. You have to be in the airport 3 hours, but at the boarding gate, the final place now, it should be 1 hour before. So if you come later than that, it is very possible for you to be left, because that one is a standard time for international flights. Because as I told you, international flights are governed by IATA, International Air Transport Association. That is a body that governs all airplanes. Okay, so it is made up of airplanes. So so that's why you see international standards are the same. The international standards are the same, by the way. They are standards. So if it is 1 hour before departure, it is 1 hour anywhere. Whether you are in Africa, whether you are in Caribbean or wherever, it is 1 hour before departure at the boarding gate. At the check-in or in the airport, 3 hours, so that you can have a smooth process. Yes. And the best time to book a flight is during the low season. If you want to get if you want to travel, you can book during the high season, but remember, anything can happen during the high season, because most flights are normally overbooked. So you can always be choosing your flights during the low season. You normally have very many options during the low season. But during the high seasons, it is possible for you then not to get the seat of your preference, because flights are normally full and sometimes they are normally overbooked. They could be full and sometimes be overbooked. So the best time to book a flight, if it is possible, it is during the low season, if it is not an emergency. Because as I keep saying, emergencies can never be planned. There are even people who arrive with a flight and then they go back immediately. Imagine you arrive in a destination and then you are called back home and emergency have occurred. So sorry for that, by the way. If it have ever happened to you, I'm so sorry for you, because I've seen it. Someone comes and they are told you that something bad have happened. That's why I normally say, before you fly, pray to God. God can even show you with a dream. Please always pray before you fly. I'll give spiritual advice regarding flying, because some things are very spiritual. Just imagine you arrive in an airport, maybe you arrive in Turkey, and then you are told, come back home right now, because now when you arrive, you are going to call home and say you have arrived in wherever you are going. And then they tell you something very bad have happened. It is very it can happen. So please, my dear ones, if you are spiritual too like me, always pray before you fly. God can even give you a dream that don't fly today. Because imagine all that wastage of time and money, and then you go back immediately without accomplishing whatever you had planned. So please pray all the time, because you never know. Life is spiritual. It is not permanent, and anything can happen anytime. Yes, anything happens anytime without any warning. Death can even happen without a warning. You go visiting, and then you are told to go back home, something has happened. But that is not what we are praying for. But always pray to God before you fly. Flying is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. And if you're traveling with children, because I've seen people traveling with big children, you know, there are some children who are big. And when the flights are very, you know, when people are checking in, they check in randomly. They pick their seats of their preference randomly. And now when you are traveling as a family or with children, you could find a wife and a husband with children who are big, because the small ones, they have to travel with one of the parents. So that's what that is why the online check-in is important, or checking in early enough. People come to the airport and then they are like, we are not sat together. So what I normally advise, if you're not sat together and there is no availability, because you could be sitting in a different seat with your wife, because if they are small children, they have to sit with one parent, not necessarily the two parents. And maybe you wanted to sit together as a family so that you can go maybe together, but sometimes it is not possible because people pick seats randomly. Someone can pick seat number 2B, whatever, like that. So if in any case you come with your family and the seats have been picked and you cannot find seats together, you can always request the passengers on board. Just do a request. If they don't allow you, if they don't agree with your request, do not be bitter. Just sleep and go to your destination. It happens that sometimes you can ask a passenger to make a seat change for you so that you can sit with your wife and they agree. But if they cannot, do not be bitter. Please always try to keep cool. These journeys are normally too long. Never lose your temper. Never lose your cool. Never think that anything that is done to you is a must. You can request. But it is always good when you have a family, book your seats early enough. And even if you book them online, because remember, sometimes you can book a seat online, but now the configuration of the flight can change. Because I've seen that. You have booked online, but unfortunately the flight that is coming is a different flight because the configurations are not the same. So you could have booked maybe seat number this and this, but now because that flight is different, you cannot get that seat. That is why I prefer, even if you do online check-in, be early enough in the airport so that in case of anything, you can get also another good seat. Because some people normally book and then they do not know that in flights normally change the configurations. You know, when you work in the airport for many years, you know all those things. That you can book a seat and maybe in the other flight, there is no that seat. Because the configuration is totally different. Even if you have online check-in, ensure that you come to check-in early to sort out everything. The seat, maybe you want to have a leg room, come to the airport early so that you can sort out that early enough. And when they explain to you something, remember they are genuine. When they explain to you that this happened because of the configuration, don't shout, just cool. Life is not permanent, please. Always have peace. Let yourself have peace all the time. I normally admire people who are peaceful. They come when there are issues, maybe there are disruptions, because sometimes you can have a disruption. Maybe the flight is delayed. Remember, some things, we could have natural calamities, and sometimes you could have technical issues or even operational. Calamities can cause delays, technical issues can cause delays, and also operational issues. Always be prepared when you are coming to the 1 week before. Travel 1 week before. Imagine you have a visa that is I've ever seen that. You come to the airport during the time of, maybe the visa is 2 days to expiry for them that have got remember, like the US, they can enter to the US. A US passport can enter the US. If I have a US passport, I can enter the US if my passport is going to expire on that day that I'm entering, as long as it will be valid when I'm entering. But now imagine I have that US passport expiring in 2 days, and then I come to the airport and I am stuck because there is a serious problem that the flight cannot fly. And when we look for another flight, it is not available because maybe of the high season or any other reason. Remember, when during the high season, all flights are normally full. And not even full, they are normally overbooked. Because IATA allows overbooking. Why do the flights overbook? Because they cannot book the enough passengers, and sometimes there are normally no shoes. So they cannot say because the configuration of the flight, or not the capacity. The capacity is 350, they have to sell to 350 people. Or it have to be booked by 350 people. What if 10 passengers do not come? And remember, these flights are commercial. So they have to overbook. It is allowed by IATA, International Air Traveling Association. So even if they overbook, it is allowed. So never ask any question like, there's somebody who asked me, and why do they overbook? They overbook because of that. If they book the capacity of the passengers, some can be no-shows. And no-show is a passenger who are booked and they do not show up in the airport. So if there is a no-show, the extra ones can join in that. They can fill that space. But now, you have a passport that is expiring tomorrow, because your country allows you to enter with that passport as long as it is expired. It does not need to be 6 months valid. As long as when you are entering, the passport is valid, they allow. But now, unfortunately, you stay in the airport for 2 days and you are going to the US and your passport now is expired in the transit point. Remember, you have to go back to the embassy and get a passport. Remember, that one is another process. It can now cause more delay because you cannot enter the US with an expired visa. Rules keep changing. There is a time the US was allowing that during COVID. They were allowing that, by the way, during COVID. Somebody could travel with an expired passport with a limited validity expiry of I don't know how many years. There was a time they were allowing that because things keep changing all the time. But for now, you cannot enter with an expired passport. There are some countries in Europe that allow you to travel with an expired passport, depending on the countries. But now you are going to the US, you cannot. Maybe your visa is expiring in 2 days. You are a visa national, going to anywhere. Because remember, whether you are going to Asia or wherever with a visa, it has to be valid before you arrive. But now you overstay because of maybe disruptions or anything, any calamity, and then your visa expires before you depart. And maybe before you got that visa, it was so hectic, you went through a very tedious process, and you got the visa. But now you wait until the visa is almost expiring, and now something bad happens, maybe a disruption, and there is no way you can be boarded to another flight due to the reasons that I've been saying. So, if you have such documents, or maybe you are traveling on a visa or anything, please plan yourself early. And because you are my audience, and I do not want you to waste your time, neither to waste your money or to be depressed, always travel 1 week before. If you're having a function, travel 1 week before, if it is possible. Because there are some places you cannot go before there are some places, by the way, even when they give the visa, you must arrive within a particular time. I've now seen even the US sometimes, they endorse their visas with such info, not all the time. There are sometimes they are endorsing their visas that the function is starting in this date. I've seen those visas, by the way. So, come way before time, so that in case of any disruption, you shall be sorted. Do not travel during the last minute. Traveling today and tomorrow you are going to work. I have seen people crying. I am going to work and you are coming today, my dear. What if something happens, you are offloaded? What will you gonna do? So please consider that. It is going to be of great help to you. And as you come in, kindly continue liking the video and subscribe if you haven't. And I love you all. And there is something else I want to teach. What if your passport gets lost in transit points? What can you do? Or maybe your passport gets lost when you are entering a country, because I've seen it. I can tell you what you can do, because it can happen, because anything can happen. Though you are very careful, you can even be very careful, but still, something can happen. Your passport can get lost. Some can get lost or they can be stolen. Anything can happen. If your passport gets lost in a destination, maybe you are coming from Jamaica going to Kenya, for example. That's just an example. What you can do, you can liaise with the Jamaica. You can call the embassy. Because remember, all the embassy contacts are normally online. If it is the US embassy, maybe you are coming from the US and your passport has gotten lost, you can always call the US embassy and notify them that my passport got lost when I was entering a particular country. That one can happen because I've seen it happening. Always call the embassy. And the embassy contacts are normally online. When you go to your browser, you just type, for example, let's say, for example, you are coming from the US. That's just an example, via any destination. Maybe you are coming via Ethiopia or any other destination. On arriving in Addis Ababa, you find that your passport you don't have your passport. Maybe it got lost. And that is why I was saying in my last video yesterday, always have the photo of your, do never forget that. Because maybe there are some who didn't watch that video. Be watching those videos, by the way. They are very, very informative. Always have the photo of your passport. Have the photo. You can even send it in your email. Because remember, a phone can be stolen. And if the photo is in the WhatsApp, you can never recover that photo. And remember, when you have an email address, you can retrieve from any cyber. You can go to a cyber cave, even in the airport, and they can retrieve that photo. Anything important that you have, by the way, take a photo, send it to your email, so that you can go to the, in case of anything, maybe the phone does not, the phone is not, maybe the phone is not charged, or maybe it's of low battery, you can retrieve it from the email. So, if you're coming from the US and you reach Addis Ababa and you don't have your passport, kindly call the embassy concerned, because that is not your mistake. It can happen. Even if you are careful, stuff happen. So call the embassy and notify them that I have arrived from the US and I don't have my passport. But because you have the photo as the evidence, it will be easier for you. Have the photo. I am not saying that if you don't have a photo, you are a criminal, because maybe you don't. There are people who do not know that. But it call the embassy, because you can have the embassy numbers from your Chrome. Just type US Embassy in Addis Ababa. You can get the contacts and call them directly. They can assist you. If it is at night and they can't pick the phone, you can lay over in that airport, because already now you have already connected to the immigration of that country, and they know that surely you don't have the passport. You can lay over waiting for tomorrow, so that the embassy can come and sort you out. Because remember, anything that can happen you in an international airport, in another destination other than your country, your embassy have to take charge. That is what happens. You now go to the embassy for refuge. That is where you are going to get help. That is what happens. Even when you go to a country and then you are in trouble. Maybe you go to the Gulf countries and then you are in trouble. The best place to run to is your embassy. And if there is no embassy to that country, you can look for any humanitarian authority. Because there is not a must for countries to have embassies. There are some countries that do not have diplomatic relations with particular countries. It does not mean that every country must have an embassy in another country. But we have got humanitarian organizations which can also chip in. But if you have the embassy of your country in that destination, that can be easier. The embassy is the best place to seek refuge. Yes, because even during times of war, by the way, during times of war, nationals of particular embassies run to the embassy. And when they run to that embassy, it is like they are in that country now. For example, I'm a US citizen, and then there is war, and I'm not praying for war, and I'm not a war person. I don't like war. I pray for countries where there is war, because that is not right. War is not something good. But for example, maybe I'm a US citizen, and now I am in Congo and there is war. Where am I going to run to? I am going to run into the US embassy, because now when I go to that embassy, it's like I'm in the US, because that's where now I can seek refuge. If you are from Norway, you run to the Norwich embassy in your country. If there is no Norwich embassy, look for any humanitarian organization for help. Because they are normally humanitarian organizations that deal with human rights. And you can always Google them in your Chrome to know where you can get help. Maybe the social workers and all that. I think that is good to note. In case you lose your passport, it is not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. You have an embassy that can assist you. So do never panic. Do you know, even if there is no embassy, now you can always liaise with your government in that country now. For example, maybe you have no US embassy and already you are in a country where there is no US embassy, and you have lost your US passport, you have lost your maybe Turkish passport. You can now call you can now liaise with your people back home, tell them that you don't have your passport, and because now you have the photo in your phone, you can always be assisted, because such things happen. Please always have the photograph of your passport. And I said also the medication. Remember, things happen. Babagi can be lost or anything can happen. Always have the the photos of your important documents or anything that you know is very important. Because if anything happens, you can retrieve from your email. Take the photo, send it to your email. You can send it to a WhatsApp number, but still don't forget to send in a email address. Because remember, an email address, you can go to any cyber, even if you don't have a phone, and they can retrieve for you, and you can get help. Please. But for the passport also, print the hard copy. Take a photo, go and print the hard copy. Be carrying the hard copy of the passport photo. Because the passport photo, or the passport page, sorry. You know the passport biodata page where there is the photo, it have got very nice information regarding you. Where you come from, where the passport was issued and all that. So don't forget to do a hard copy. Maybe you can even take 5 copies for yourself. Some you leave at home, some you put in your luggage. So that in case of anything, you can have somewhere to refer. And you encounter any harassment in the airport from anyone, any airport, always do not fear to raise alarm. You can look for the airport managers. You can report. We normally have customer services desk in airports where you can be helped. Because remember, your safety and security must be guaranteed. You have to be safe, whether you are in Addis Ababa, whether you are in Frankfurt, whether you are in Atatürk International Airport, whether you are in Charles de Gaulle in Paris, you have to be safe. So always raise alarm. Because I normally see naive passengers, especially the first-time flyers, they normally do not know what to do in case of any harassment of any kind. Always, you have the right to talk yourself out, but do never use a rude language. Never. But if anyone insults you and mishandles you in any way, there is a procedure that you can report. Because you have also a right to be safe and to be handled well, because you are human. And you are very important because you are a customer. Any questions so far? Any questions regarding traveling? I don't think I'm gonna continue. I think I've taught enough. I can start another live later, but for now, I think I can take a break. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly like the video and subscribe, my dear. And may the Lord bless you for checking in on me. I do not take this for granted. It has been a pleasure to be together with you. Thank for the likes. Thank you so much. Even those who come later, kindly like, subscribe, turn on the notification so that when I upload anything, you shall be the first one to get the information. Thank you so much. Bye. See you later.